Welcome, everybody, to episode number 28 of the Dragon's Den podcast. We are live here on YouTube and Rumble and on my Facebook page. My name is Eric Hopkins, a.k.a. Gel. I'm joined tonight by a bunch of different people. Sir Spoobington III, Miranda Nicole 84 there. Private Prickleberry joins us again tonight for the first time in a while. And Matthew, of course, and Aaron will probably be on here in just a little bit. How's everybody doing tonight?
Not bad.
Not too
shabby?
I'm good.
Yeah. Private Prickleberry is just lounging and relaxing right there. Usually Matt's position. Because Matt's got himself a new setup, though, from the looks of it.
Eric, I'm going to send you something real quick.
Okay.
It's on X.
On X, okay.
Yep.
Is it something you want me to pull up?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
If she found out that way, that's wild.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about a little pro wrestling before the show started, talking about how Indy Hartwell was departing WWE. Effectively, will be a free agent in 90 days. She didn't know, apparently, according to her X account. She wrote, "Wait, what?" So now it could just be her kind of joking around. I don't know. But yeah, apparently WWE had a couple rounds, maybe a round of releases. Baron Corbin, I think. Who else did you say? Tegan Knox might have got released, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we'll find out some more of those as the night goes on here for sure. But
anyway, yeah, that's crazy if that's how you found out.
Is Matt in the 18th century? What in the world?
What is going on, Matt?
He's on this old style telephone.
It's my old phone.
Your old phone? Does it actually work? It looked very.
Actually, we're working on setting it up to a landline.
Really? Okay, that's kind of cool.
I haven't seen many people with landlines anymore.
It is probably from the 30s.
The phone looked like it, for sure. So yeah, anybody got some anything going on last few days or anything? Just chilling.
Seth's back.
Yeah, obviously. Good to have him home.
Yeah, Seth's
back from basic training. So is it permanent? I'm assuming.
For the time being.
I know you came into work today. I didn't. Brandon said you were standing right there, but I didn't even notice. I was too busy doing.
Literally, I'm here.
We made eye contact. That's what I'm gonna say.
Really?
You didn't see him.
See, I'm so used to with your beard. I think that's part of it. I really do.
I turned around, said, "Hey," shook his fucking hand, and then went back to arguing with Eric over this shit that I know I didn't drop off at his table. But
you did eventually.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell I haven't shaved? I don't want to get smoked.
What do you mean?
Very bad when I got more facial hair than he does.
I haven't shaved in like 2 days. I feel weird.
Yeah, I haven't shaved in life. Okay, and this is all I got. So what's the problem?
Well, I would have to be in the front leaning rest position for like 2 hours if I didn't shave. So
you're making this real intimate by laying on a pillow, and I don't know how to feel about it.
I got kicked out of my spot. Okay.
So, Andrew.
Plus, this is like the comfiest that I've been.
Oh, I bet.
I bet your little girl was happy to see you, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was at my mom's when I got into town, so she spent the night there, and then she was asleep whenever we got there. So she did like a soft daddy. But
glad you're home, but I'm too tired.
Yeah.
I just went to bed 30 minutes ago. Stop.
Somebody in the comment section here. Mike is in the comments, said the Dragon's Den making podcasts great again. You know it, good sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
I will say, I don't think our kids know you're back yet, but I know Jackson will be excited to see that you're back.
Yeah.
I think you guys are doing something next weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to come out.
Well, if you can, come out.
I'll be there.
I think the wife works, so that might be a problem because we only have one car right now. I cannot stop rubbing my thigh. It's glorious.
If you want to be left alone,
yeah. Laying down, rubbing your thighs, like
I know you've been away for a while. You know,
I only need like a good solid 5 seconds. Let's be honest.
We're also doing something for the Ohio State IU game or whatever. So
yeah, on the
I'll definitely come out for that.
I'm telling you now.
I'm gonna gather up all your tears.
I'm telling you now. if Ohio State start you, y'all getting out my house. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're getting your
Like I
ass
told
whooped,
Eric.
and you know that's
Like
gonna
I told
happen.
Eric. I said, he was like, "What if I'm eating?" I said, "You better pack it up and go with you because you can't stay here."
I'm just gonna say this: there's really not much I'm scared of anymore.
Nah,
You're getting out my house. You gotta
I
go.
feel that way too, Seth.
Kathy Cortea says hi in the chat. Hello, Kathy.
Hi,
Thank you for joining us.
Kathy.
Matt, you going over bills? What's happening right now?
Hey, you got to pay him at
Yeah.
some point.
You got paperwork, Matt? You sitting in your office
Yeah.
crunching numbers?
He'll pull out this giant calculator here in a minute, back from the
Yeah.
30s as well.
Yeah.
Like a Rolodex.
Typewriter.
Yeah.
Oh, what were those things?
Yeah,
They
the
had-
little
yeah,
pins slide the numbers.
There's little rocks on
Remember
the
what they're
side. He's
called.
moving them over, writing down shit.
Yeah.
You'll have one of those visor hats that are see-through, but it's tinted.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Like all them bankers.
Start smoking marbles.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, well, I thought we'd start the show off a little bit. I didn't think Matt was going to be on the show tonight, but since he is, I'm going to troll him just a little bit here.
Oh, stupid New York Yankees.
Well,
You have to do this right now.
We have to do this.
Yeah.
Of course we do. Because apparently in the world of baseball, we have new World Series champions, and that is, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Defeated the Yankees 4-1 in their series. Sorry to rub it in, buddy, but Matt is a huge Yankees fan. And he always likes to troll us in like fantasy football and sports in general and just life. So this is our opportunity to give him the trolling, so as it were. So
let me ask you a question, Matt. What time was that game over?
Before
as
it
soon
began.
As it started.
What time did you text me last night?
About 10 o'clock it was over with.
He was so fucking mad. he only texted me.
But hold on. This is why.
And
Hold on. Let me explain to our
I can
viewers
hear
why. Okay. Because you sit there and you bicker about your chances getting wasted, and you finally get the chance you've been wanting the entire time, and you don't even get off the bus.
He was so pissed.
Well, for those of you who maybe watched last week's episode, there was a point in the podcast where Matt just disappeared randomly. Come to find out, that was the moment that, Freddie Freeman hit the grand slam home run.
Freddie Freeman hit a 4-run grand slam.
And it was all downhill after that.
Walk-off grand slam. And that was the end of the vacuum, and a lot of
Yeah, Matt broke his vacuum cleaner.
Dude, I got texts from him, like personal text, not in the group chat, because he was saying shit in the group chat, but he was texting me on the side, angry.
I was not happy. I was not happy because of the lack of management and the lack of I would call it mismanagement. Mismanagement on the game management side of it. And on top
He's
of
about
that,
to go off now.
our pitching coach should be fired. He should have been fired yesterday.
Just the coach? Or
Tommy Canley does not belong on the Yankees.
Well, let's put it this way. Mike said in the chat, when the Yankees lose, America wins. So, yeah.
He was so fucking pissed off, dude. He was
I mean, he usually dips out on the podcast without saying bye anyway.
America wins.
Oh my god.
Well,
because this is like
he's beating you in the standings.
Do you know why he's so mad about this? Because this is like literally one of the few teams that he doesn't.
You have to show this shit.
Yes, I do.
Damn, bro, what happened?
Well, I didn't realize it'd been that long since they won a title.
Dude, this is like when I was fantasy drafting, and Eric goes, "The worst fantasy team ever is up on the clock."
Yeah, that was funny.
And Eric gets something on me. He has to just troll it along.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you do the same
on
to
a
me?
daily basis.
I would do none of the such.
Oh no, never.
Now you're just gonna lie. That's wild. Damn, dude, they haven't won a title
since 2009.
Ooh,
they made the playoffs. What is that? 11 out of 15 years or something?
Yeah.
Eric,
but yeah,
it was the last time we had Derek Jeter.
So Let me ask you a question, brother. What happens
We in a
every
rebuild.
time? Like do they need a rebuild all these times?
No, it's not that. See what happened. Here's what happened.
I watched
If
it.
you
Your
want-
picture
you
was
want the
ass.
Full lowdown. Listen,
Your pitcher is ass.
hold on.
He
Hold
threw
on.
an 84-mile-an-hour fastball straight down the middle. My man
Yeah.
crunched
Let
that
me
son of a
explain
bitch.
to you. Let me explain
Like
to
three
you something.
or four times in different
The-
games.
The Yankees had won 27 championships in a row.
So you
So
saying karma?
every
Well,
year
not
the
in a
Yankees
row.
would make it all the way to the World Series. We didn't get any good draft picks out of that. So
Well,
throughout
all these
the
times you
years,
are-
throughout those 9 years is us cycling through the system.
Well, in all these years, you were making the playoffs in a lot of these years. So yeah, I mean, your
We
draft
made the
You
picks.
had the
playoffs,
players,
but we
obviously.
wouldn't
You
win
made
the
it
World
that far.
Series.
True. Yeah,
We
so
would not
something-
win the World Series.
Oh
we
my
were
God.
not good enough
And
to
you
make
will
the
not
World
again,
Series.
apparently. You're like the
It-
Dallas Cowboys of baseball.
Except
Yeah,
there's
here's
no
the
except
thing.
there's no salary cap in
Here's
baseball.
what I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Just goes to show you can't
Eric.
buy a title.
Eric.
Bro, do you know that you have like over 50 tabs open?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
you
many.
have no
Eric.
idea.
I've got 3 of these tonight.
Yeah.
Every
Oh
time
my.
every time I come
A lot of
on
these are
here
gonna
and you
go
show
kinda
one of
quicker
these
than you might
pictures,
Huh?
all I do is just look at how many tabs. Your tabs give me anxiety.
I know.
Eric.
I about messaged you earlier saying, hey, Seth, I've got all tabs for you.
Eric.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the
Gotta be
Yankees are the
prepared.
Dallas Cowboys of baseball. That's wild.
Brandon and Eric.
Uh,
I want you to look at the playoffs tab, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now I understand 2013, I understand 2014. We weren't very good. I
Mhm.
understand 2016. But what I do not understand is why we missed the playoffs in 2023.
Uh-huh.
well,
Why? What were you doing? So
we
are you
weren't
saying-
hurt.
Are you
We
saying
weren't
Aaron Judge
bad.
is Dak Prescott?
I don't know.
we got a few comments here. Kathy wanted to say, love you, Seth. So proud of you. So happy to have you
Yes.
home for sure. She
I
also,
second Kathy. Seth,
Yeah.
I am very proud of you.
Mike said, Brightside Matt, they did not get swept. So
They should
be
have.
happy
That
They
is
about
fucking
true,
should have.
Michael.
They should have lost
That
the
is
game
true.
they won.
I was
Exactly.
If you
proud.
got-
I was.
if you got-
remember, the Dodgers are really good.
Change the narrative, please.
Kathy's not into baseball talk, clearly.
All I know is if you are in a market like they're in the market and you have a picture that looks like that, you probably should just hang up your franchise.
My bad. There we go. Yeah,
Oh.
not good times for the old Yankees for sure, but
was
good times for the
pissed.
Dodgers right now. That's for sure.
Yeah,
They're another franchise I can't stand.
Dodgers.
Yeah. Dodgers.
I just don't like LA or New York teams.
I thought that Cleveland was actually going to get it. I really did. I was kind of pumped for it. Then it didn't happen.
But I really can't talk shit. My Reds haven't done anything since like 1816.
Hey, there's always that. Hey, the Cubs didn't do it for like 100 some years, and they finally did. So
Yeah, I remember that day when that happened.
The Reds are better than the Cubs.
There were people at work that don't normally care about
Got a feeling
sports
Mike is
who
gonna
cared
disagree with
about that Cubs game.
all
Except for
righty,
John.
well,
John Barker just don't like the Cubs.
doesn't like the Cubs at all.
No, he's a
Yeah.
Cincinnati Red guy.
Oh no.
Oh no. All right, well, let's get this thing rolling. Since, like as Seth mentioned, I got a bunch of tabs open, ready to roll. So let's start
Oh,
off
you
with.
have so many tabs open.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. That's not even the political stuff we'll get to later. But let's start off with a little
no.
quick pro wrestling segment, real quick. All right, so I'm going to do a quick little preview. Tomorrow from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. That is, of course, Crown Jewel. That is going to be down there, and it's going to be a relatively, I don't know if I wouldn't say missable show because it's got some good matches on it. But the biggest thing it's going to be headlining it is, of course, this new Crown Jewel Championship they're going to have for the men and women's world champions to go against each other for, which I don't know if it's a title we necessarily need to have per se, but at the same time, you know, they're trying to do something like annually every single year where the world champions for the men and women's wrestle each other at these shows. So give it something kind of special for that. But we got Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the men's Crown Jewel Championship. We got Nia Jax and Liv Morgan for the women's. We also got Seth Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed in a feud match. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens in another feud match, as well as a triple threat match for the United States Championship with Andrade versus LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. We've got a fatal four-way for the women's tag team championships and a six-man tag match with the old bloodline and the new bloodline. We don't know which three members of Solo Sokola's new bloodline I think are going to be involved in this six-man tag. That match to me is kind of like, I don't know if you want to necessarily do that right now. You kind of want to save that for the big War Games match at Survivor Series. So there may be like some shenanigans here, like maybe we don't get this full force. I can see Sami Zayn getting involved a little bit since they kind of tease him a little bit on Raw, possibly maybe coming out and maybe, you know, getting involved and kind of setting up the bigger match later on. We'll have to wait and see. But Brandon, especially, what's your thoughts on this 7-match card on this pay-per-view, which they've been kind of having like 5 matches on a lot of these smaller pay-per-views as of late. But Jeddah, they try to make it a bigger deal. What are your thoughts on these matches, and what one are you looking forward to most?
Quite honestly, the one that I'm looking forward to most, besides Orton and Owens, is the triple threat.
And he's serious about that. He got real soft-spoken and got real close to the mic.
Yeah, exactly.
With Carmelo, Andrade, and LA Knight, that could be really good.
Especially since LA Knight kind of screwed both of them out of their best of 7 series like a week ago. Yeah. So
yeah, that could be really good. But I think that Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, I don't know why I couldn't remember his name, is going to be violent. And that's pretty good too. But man, I could do without the bloodline thing only because I feel like that's a Survivor Series thing. Yeah, I get why they're doing it. The Prince pays them a lot of fucking money, so
yeah, that they're trying to build that story a little bit further. I think that's all.
But I do believe that ends shenanigans.
Yes, absolutely. I think
Not cool shenanigans.
No,
evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans. The Gunther and Cody thing I don't really care about. It's simply because like it's nothing. I feel like if these two were gonna go at it, it would have been title for title. You know what I mean? It'd have been a huge deal.
Right.
This, the Crown Jewel thing, like I said, I understand why they're doing it, whatever, but like I would have saved that for something major, and you could always revisit it later, but like I think if this match ends at a screw job somehow, it'll be because of his opponent after Goldberg.
Oh, you don't think it'll be Goldberg himself?
No, I don't know. I think
that
could probably set up something between those two, sure. They've already laid the groundwork for that, but like I think his real opponent, we just haven't seen him yet.
Right on. Yeah, Mike is talking about the Crown Jewel titles. He thinks they're just a yearly thing. I think they are too. It's kind of like
it's just
AEW,
for this show.
They've got the Hart Foundation tournament. It's kind of one of those deals you can win the tournament, and then obviously you get a title shot in that case. But in this case, it's just for these guys to carry this title for the big show in Saudi Arabia, kind of give it something to the Crown Prince down there, obviously, because they have.
I will
things
say
the way
though,
they do it down there.
He's the women the last 2 years been crushing it over there. And
this is in Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Yeah.
How are the women going to be able to wrestle?
They were
just covered head to toe.
Like about 2 years ago. It was Becky and
I mean, I get that they can wrestle, but how are they allowed to wrestle like they normally dress?
Well, they don't.
They have on full body
long sleeves, long pants. You don't see anything from the neck down, basically. A lot of these instances.
Them bodysuits be tight though. Anyway,
the fact that they were allowed to wrestle there at all, I think, is I think WWE likes to tout it as progress for sure.
But they've been letting it breathe too. Like the women go out there and they're out there for a bit. These aren't like 2-3 minute matches or 5 minute matches. They're around 7-8 minutes long, which is what some of the top star guys get too. And
is their hair showing?
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Their face and hair is showing. It's they do not for sure. But so
ladies on
the show. That's a good thing.
I think if I'm going by, and this is strictly result wise, the weakest match on here, I would assume it would be the bloodline one.
Yeah, I could see that. I think Cody and Gunther will get time for sure, but like you said, it'll probably
you're
I imagine that goes to Cody. That's all I'm
Yeah, no,
Babyface. No?
Gunther.
You think
Yeah,
Gunther
don't
wins it?
beat Gunther. Cody can eat a loss; he'll be fine.
That's a good point. Maybe Kevin Owens costs him that because Kevin Owens and him maybe have a feud going up in the next month or so.
Yeah, yep.
So is that a possibility? So yeah, I can see Raquel Rodriguez getting involved with the Nia Jax match for sure.
Yeah, because I don't think you pin either champion here. That'll be insane.
How are you going to determine who's the first winner of those titles, though?
With the interference from Kevin.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, I guess you could do it that way. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a good show.
You can't pin. That's wild.
Who?
You can't have Gunther pin Cody or Cody pin Gunther. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what they do.
Work.
What time does this show start? Since it's in Saudi Arabia, it's probably like early. I'd have to check and see what the time is. But yeah,
I want to say it's like Sunday football early. If not, it'll be about 1 o'clock.
That's probably right. Mike said, "Does Bronson Reed need to go over Seth, or can he afford to take the L here?"
No, Seth can take the L.
Yeah, well, I think he means Bronson taking the L. But anyway,
I
would rather Seth. I would rather Seth take the L.
Yeah, I would. No, Bronson shouldn't take the L here. He's the monster that they're building, and he's the one that's knocking down these top guys. So no, Seth eats an L here. Like I said, it'll be a brutal match, but Seth's gonna lose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what makes the most sense. Now, as far as Orton and Owens goes, Owens wins.
Yeah, because he's got to set up Cody.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't think that any dynamics are really going to change here outside of maybe the stuff with the bloodline, like you said, setting up stuff going forward. Other than that, it's probably a show you could possibly miss and not miss anything when it comes to storyline outside of the bloodline stuff. But other than that, I mean, it could be rather solid in ring for sure.
No, but a lot of stories will be progressing on this show.
Yes, a little bit for sure. Yeah,
you can see the paths, and like I'm interested to see what they're going to do with these women's titles and how they're going to start to create a story around that. But
and if they are going to do Goldberg Gunther, Goldberg is definitely a type of guy that the Crown Prince and Jeddah would probably want to have on the show. So I could maybe see him maybe costing Gunther the match. Maybe that could possibly be a case.
Yeah, but you can't. That's wild to have the Raw champion pin the SmackDown champ. Like that's crazy work.
Yeah, ain't the first time it's happened though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
yeah, definitely going to be interesting for sure. But we'll have to wait and see how that show goes tomorrow. So yeah, anybody else got any thoughts on that? I know Matt's probably ecstatic about it because he loves
he loves wrestling.
I'm gonna wait for the TikTok highlights.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Seems exciting.
Hey, Aaron's here. It's nice. He chimed in there.
Oh,
I've been here for a minute.
Oh yeah, but I hadn't heard you yet. Sorry.
I've been here for years.
Well, Brandon was talking. I didn't want to interject while he was talking.
Has that ever stopped you?
Thank you. At least he has some decorum here.
Hey.
At work, though, I'll be wanting to whoop his ass.
Exactly. Oh.
I hit his scanner
today.
It's so funny to watch.
Pause for a second. This bastard. I thought I was losing my mind. I dropped that Karen's table, right? I turned around. No, I dropped that Nate's table. And I go to get my ticket. I turn around, do the thing, put the gun down because Nate was saying something. I walked over to Nate, talked to him for a second. I turn around, go back to my cart, and my scanner's gone. Like, maybe I took it over to Nate's table. So I walk over to Nate's table. It's not there. I'm like, real talk. So I went back to my cart, and I'm moving it around like, did I put this bitch in a different bin? So, and then I go, okay, somebody's messing with me. Now, who in this building, all the people out there now, would have the balls to mess with me, right? There's only 3 people I can think of. So
there's one, right?
I know where 2 of them are. I don't know where the third one is. So the plan was to go talk to one, check out his station, if he got it. If he ain't got it, cool. It ain't him. The information on the third one because I didn't know where he was. I knew he was in the building, just didn't know where he was. So
meanwhile, Matt's rearranging his house right now.
As I walk around the corner to go ask said person where other person was, he comes by and like on some drive-by shit, drops the scanner and starts walking. He's like, Bro.
Oh, now that you're moving around, I'm gonna fuck with you so hardcore.
Well, that's gonna be awesome.
Mm.
Kathy
yeah.
asked originally, "Where is Aaron?" And then, of course, Aaron popped up. She goes, "Oh, there he is."
Yeah, where is Aaron? Oh,
right here.
talk about when I saw Aaron today. Man, practically jumped in my arms.
Like I said, it's been a minute.
He did. He was like, "Oh."
I showed
I
a
was
little
so
bit
happy
more
to see Seth.
brotherly love than Brandon did. Shook your hand like it was a business arrangement.
Bro, I was in the middle of something.
Yeah, Brandon. This is just Brandon. He was like, "All right, I'll see you later."
At least he saw you.
Bill,
Yeah, at least I saw you.
you're
Acknowledge
like
you.
ironic.
Yeah. You did a
Gets
double
me
take.
through
It was
half of my
hilarious.
workday.
Mike had a quick wrestling question. He said, "For AEW, what's everyone's opinion on Bobby Lashley's debut on Dynamite?" Now,
I didn't see it.
I knew he debuted.
Was
I yet
it
to see the show. I need to watch it.
Explosive.
Well, maybe I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how they debuted him. I did see him. A
I
picture of
know
him, so I know he was
from the
there, but
picture I seen, it's him
gotta
and
get caught up.
Strickland. So they're doing something with him and
Clearly.
Strickland.
Yeah, and,
So.
I know Strickland was supposed to wrestle Shelton Benjamin, so I'll have to
that
check that out tomorrow and let you know later.
I seen that. That was crazy.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I got to start watching these night of and stop waiting.
That one was crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. I think Bobby Lashley could have some decent matches and stuff in AEW. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But
I also feel like they need to do what's the deal with Keith Lee and Miro, because I would like to see them back on TV.
I think Keith Lee's had like health issues and stuff for a while. I don't know if that's it or not. And then Miro, last I heard, had requested his release. So I don't know if you'll ever see either one of them back at AEW, to be honest.
Right.
So it's kind of a sad deal, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But yeah, AEW's got some potential, but they've got their own set of issues as well, which I'd like to see them kind of get better with.
AEW's too long.
No, it's not. It's no longer. Raw's longer than 8. Well, not right now, but
It's too long.
Mike said Swerve defeated Benjamin. Spoiler.
Yeah,
and the MVP had Lashley come out and they laid out Swerve. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Watch
though.
it still, but
You're still gonna watch it. Don't act like you're not. Like him
I'll
telling
check
you
it out.
the ending of it. I mean,
that's again. It'll teach me to watch it night of like I'm supposed to. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could guess though. They're not gonna have Shelton Benjamin debut and lose. That's not gonna happen.
Well, he's wrestled a few matches already. Shelton Benjamin's Bobby.
Really?
Yeah, he wrestled Ricochet, or I think he wrestled. I don't know. He wrestled. Yeah, he wrestled. I think he wrestled Osprey one night too. I can't remember. But yeah, he's had a few matches he's had to do.
Okay.
But, yeah. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, well, let's move on to the next topic here. Let's keep it rolling a little bit. We got a little bit of movie news, so I thought.
Oh, thank God.
So something that,
Wow.
Sorry, I was looking where IU was playing tomorrow. No, I was looking at where IU's playing tomorrow.
I thought he was like, thank God, something I could talk about.
Man,
Anyway.
them Dallas Stars, they suck.
Anyway.
Watch your whore mouth.
What the fuck?
I couldn't think of a better time to drop that transition.
Yeah. You're lucky you cut
Trying to
off.
hurry
Remember,
up and
little
put the-
boy, I can
put the
fucking
TV
squat you so I
screen.
can't slam your ass now.
What was that? Like that was random as fuck.
I missed.
I'll break my glasses off in my face and yours. I don't give a fuck.
You have to understand something. Seth, I have
my
like
God.
6 months of this built up, waiting for you when you come back to work on Monday.
You do know I know like 6 ways to kill somebody now, right?
That's okay.
Tread lightly,
do.
Matt.
You do realize I have been properly trained.
I know you have.
I am a warrior and a member of a team now.
Hey, you're supposed to be.
I'm a warrior.
I'm a warrior.
Hey, I'm against foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic.
Okay. And domestic. Okay.
And Matt's definitely on the list for sure. This week in movie, actually, we got a little bit of TV news, as a matter of fact, this time. Last few weeks, I know we've been talking a little bit about Marvel and some of their, movie slate and things like that coming up. Well, we now officially know what Marvel's slate is on the television side for the next 14 months. They've officially got in total 10 projects coming out in the next 14 months, which is a lot. But to kind of get us ready for this conversation, let's watch the trailer discussing all the new TV shows coming out over the next year.
I brought you here to offer you an opportunity.
Oh, I smell what you're stepping in. It's gonna get good.
It's been some time, hasn't it? You've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
I wonder if your darker half would agree. Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? A really good one.
Miss me.
Oh!
I want to build something undeniable.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
Up for an adventure?
The battle they will sing about for ages.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man. I was born to play this character. And we both have a lot riding on this. You better not mess this up. I know.
I am ready.
I am Marvel Jesus. We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
Oh my God!
So next year alone, Marvel is going to have 9 projects, 3 animated shows, 3 live action movies, and 3 live action television shows. Seems like a lot.
So we're getting rid of movies.
No, we're doing 3 movies next year. I meant 3 live action movies. It's in the theaters.
I thought
There's
the
three,
Deadpool
but
and Wolverine already came out. So are
Yeah,
they just saying that it's
Yeah, it'll be on Disney Plus in November. This is about 12 days or so. That's what they're saying here for that. So
see, it was supposed to be on like the 22nd of October.
oh well, they're saying now it's November 12th. So yeah, it'll be on there soon. But also this year we've obviously got What If season 3, which will be the final season in the What If trilogy of seasons here for sure. Got some images from that as well. But anybody watch the first 2 seasons of What If at all, or did nobody care?
I watched the first season. I think I watched the second season.
I don't know if I ever finished the second season, but
It's been a long time ago. I can't remember.
yeah, it's been a minute for sure since I watched the first season too. I need to go back and watch those as well. It's again some of this stuff, like the animated stuff. I don't think it's stuff you have to necessarily know to know the overarching story of the MCU, but it does help. And of course, so that's this year with the What If, and of course, Deadpool and Wolverine going to Disney Plus. And then we've got next year. This is the layout for the entire year. It's pretty much there's Marvel stuff on for almost the entire year leading into 2026. Obviously, there was reports from Marvel Studios that they were going to start to slow down a bit and focus more on quality over quantity. A lot of people are going, well, this is definitely a lot of quantity. But I think the overall strategy is still to do the same thing and slow down a little bit heading into 2026.
Yeah, but a lot of that stuff they've been working on since like 2022.
Exactly. This is stuff that's kind of been in the pipe, and with the writer's strike and everything like that, I think they're trying to just get all this stuff out and then kind of start fresh. And I think the first big movie in this case that's kind of a fresh start with the new overall Marvel strategy is Fantastic Four First Steps. That'll kind of be the first stepping stone into the new finishing up the multiverse saga, as it were, before the next few Avengers movies in 26 and 27.
Well, I was just rewatching Daredevil. I'm excited for Daredevil.
Well, it sounds like that's going to pick up after season 3 on the Netflix series. So yeah,
was that Fisk and Daredevil?
Yeah,
I thought so.
Did you ever see Daredevil on Netflix? The first 3 seasons,
I know who Fisk
or
is.
as I know him as
he's in that
Gomer
too.
Pyle.
Yeah, exactly. Gomer Pyle, same actor. Yeah. Vincent D'Onofrio, but and they've already said that Daredevil has already got renewed for season 2, so we're going to get another one of those probably in the next few years as well.
Didn't they take the episodes down? Because originally it was like 18 episodes.
They did. From what I understand, it may be cut in half to 9, and then another 9 will be season 2. So they may either be splitting that in half or rewriting as well. I think there has been some rewrites in a lot of this stuff. But like with Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, they're only going to be 4 episodes apiece. The Spider-Man animated thing is kind of an Elseworlds multiverse thing that doesn't really tie into the overall thing. It's kind of like Spider-Man from another universe.
What does Ironheart tie into?
Well, Black Panther 2, she made her debut in that movie, and it'll obviously be a continuation of the Iron Man legacy.
This is his daughter, right?
No, it's a totally new character from Black Panther 2. Her name's Riri Williams from the comics.
Yeah, in the comics, I think she won a contest.
Okay. Yeah,
she won a contest and kind of went under Iron Man or Tony Stark's wing.
Yeah.
So I think technically in the movies, how Tom Holland's Spider-Man was like his apprentice was actually Riri.
Yeah, in the comics, I think. But in the movies, she's just the first person to be able to build an Iron Man tech outside of Tony Stark. So that's kind of how they're going to play the story in the MCU. So, but yes, definitely a genius, definitely smart, for sure. Kathy's not into the comic stuff. She's so bored. So hang in there. We're going to get to the politics.
We'll get to the red hat. You just wait.
Kathy, would you like to know how I almost got struck by lightning twice?
Oh, wow.
If not, I would.
We can take a pause here. Go for it. I'm curious now.
I was just out in the field and a lightning bolt struck the ground like 20-some yards away from me.
I'm already bored and confused.
And then whenever I was at AIT, a lightning bolt hit the building right outside, like right next to me when I was outside.
Oh, this was during the Army?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I almost threw the pin. This is a little random, but I almost threw the pin when it was grenade day.
Oh.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, that would not be cool at all. So yeah. Definitely don't do that. Let's just drill like Captain America. See how I tied that back in? Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm excited for Captain America.
So, hold on a second. So you almost threw the pin?
Yeah.
Well, how much ass chewing did you get for that?
Well, you know, if you throw it fast, if you throw both of them fast enough, you know, I didn't have to walk back at all in full battle rattle.
Nah, you didn't have to do much running, did you?
I might have had a run back. It was a 5-mile run.
Well, since you said you're interested in Captain America, are you interested in Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four next year as well?
Yeah, it's really hard for me to watch that shit now because all I do is just break down the military uniforms.
Oh yeah, you're like my buddy who was a firefighter. Every time there's a firefighter in a movie, he's like, they're doing it wrong. You know, so, I mean,
I'm just like, their patches are on the wrong side. Tuck in your bootlaces, you.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah, sorry, Mike. Matt's working with a new setup, so he's apparently having a hard time with his headphones.
Yeah,
there, so.
I'm sorry.
We'll work it out. He's still trying to figure out all the kinks. So I can hear him. I mean, maybe
new audio equipment.
Well, that he's in a larger room. I think he's getting a bit of an echo from the room too. But yeah, so we'll have to deal with it.
Headphones in that you use from work.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same headphones he's been using on the podcast previously. So I don't know exactly why it's causing a little issue now. But Kathy, go ahead, Aaron.
Did it kind of seem like in the Ironheart movie that she's going to be basically a thief to get what she wants?
Well, I think they were definitely kind of looking like that's going to be the route they take here with the trailer for the series for sure. Maybe she has to do some things she's not proud of to kind of get what she needs.
Speaking of thieves,
yeah.
I heard Sydney Sweeney is going to play Shadowcat in Spider-Man 4.
You mean Black Cat?
Whatever. I always called her a Shadowcat.
Yeah. Same difference.
Whatever, it's the same thing.
I mean, that'd be fine with that. I mean, what'd you start saying, Aaron? About?
I'm just saying that's kind of a trope that they're using nowadays. With anytime there's an African American and they're adding them into a kind of a story, they always be like, "Oh, well, the black person has to steal to get ahead in life," and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we just do what Seth said, where she won a contest for Tony Stark and she got a grant to start making the Iron Man suit? Like, why does it have to be, oh, poor picked on minority type thing? You know what I mean?
Well, even in Black Panther, yeah, they
Wakanda Forever. That's how they portrayed her from the get-go.
Yeah, that's true.
She was
But-
stealing parts to make
Yeah,
that suit.
but like why portray her? You
Yeah.
know, why does it have to be like that? Why couldn't it have been?
Because
She
it's
got
Disney.
some grants because
Because
she's really
because it's
smart.
edgy and cool.
Oh, Brad is back.
Everybody loves an underdog. I gotta sit up. I feel like I'm about to fall asleep.
Crap, my bad.
I think it's a waste of time, but that's just my opinion.
No, I had to let Loki outside.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Mike was wondering
Jumanji.
going to see if I could get him and Aaron into a good comic debate like last week.
No.
Yeah.
I know Miranda was
That's
like,
not
"Move
gonna
on."
happen.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's so much better.
Talk about being
I don't
edgy.
think that
You know the one
Suicide
thing-
Squad would win. I'm just
I'm not having this conversation again. I'm not fucking
You know
doing
the
Marvel
one thing
or
the Army has
DC?
taught me.
it. fuck both of y'all. Okay.
Well, Green
Sleep
Lantern
anywhere.
sucks. So.
What'd you say,
Really?
Matt?
Yeah, you're gonna get your hands.
Green Lantern sucks.
Look, Matt. I'm gonna tell you like
Your
I
face
told
sucks.
two
But if
people
it-
at work today. All right, I'm in the mood to throw these
Green
hands, and
Lantern's
you
awesome.
like you gonna.
I really wish they would
Stop
do where
talking,
Hal
man.
Jordan fucks up and he couldn't save that town, and he ends up becoming Paradox by killing all
yeah.
the other Green Lanterns.
Hey, never say never. By the way, Matt, if the Green Lanterns were in the World Series, at least they'd win.
For sure. And you only need one.
You know,
and you
you
only need
just
one
gotta,
of them to do it.
use the constructs to get baseball bats
Yeah.
and gloves and stuff. It wouldn't be that hard.
Hey, if John Stewart can create an army with them, yeah.
Yeah, the
Hey,
Yankees
Aaron,
need a lot of willpower to even
think-
make it
You
past
know,
the shit.
4-4 ain't that bad.
What if Vin Diesel said it doesn't matter if you lose by an inch or lose by a mile? Losing's losing.
2 more wins than you get.
My God.
I mean, it's the same thing, basically. Winning, losing's losing. Tomato,
Ever
tomato.
since we had that
Yeah.
fast conversation at work today, Eric, I've been quoting movie lines, and I ended a conversation today by saying "for family," and I just walked off.
Yeah, we got into a whole let's just make fun of Fast and Furious movies. It was hilarious. They have gone downhill after.
all we were saying is that
What?
the stunts in Fast and Furious would make more sense if it was Transformers, if it was Kit from Knight Rider, or if
Yeah.
it was Herbie from the Love Bug
The
series.
Love Bug.
Like that, they would make more sense with those characters.
I was so mad at one point in this conversation that I lost my shit.
Why?
Oh.
Yeah, Matt, or Brandon.
Miranda,
just can't
we
stand
have
Fast and Furious
interesting
movies.
conversations at the lunch table.
I can't do it because, like I said, the first one, cool. The concept, I get it. But the fact that it led to like a bigger thing, and I told you one of the things that pissed me off so bad was they used these little fucking tuner cars to drag a fucking safe through town.
Yeah,
But anyway,
we're getting there.
we're getting there. What are you talking about? We're getting there.
I could see the I could see the scene so
I-
clear
I-
in my head. I fucking ooh.
If your hates Brandon, it's broken him.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
Well, getting back to the topic at hand,
I'm
I
gonna have
think
to
a lot-
watch this scene.
You got the what?
I'm gonna have to watch this scene
yeah, you'll see.
Oh, yeah.
because I honestly thought it was like a little like wall safe.
No, it's a big ass bank safe, dude.
No, yeah, bigger than the cars. So yeah,
And I
yeah.
I-
Yeah, Mike's
have
right.
one
Mike's
thing-
right too about the airport runway scene, the longest
oh
runway
my
ever.
god.
Well, you gotta understand that from a
Oh,
movie
man.
perspective, though. They're trying to show everything that's happening at one time, so you got to break it up between different characters. So they have to make it appear like it's the longest runway of all time, but you gotta understand all this stuff is happening simultaneously. So the movie's going to drag it out a bit, so you can see everything.
Oh my god.
I get what you're saying, though. We did get criticism for that. What'd you start to
Is
say,
this,
Brandon?
this Fast and Furious?
I'm gonna add
Yeah,
to this whole Ironheart situation. I get
Okay.
the argument, I get the trope, but I mean it's literally how her origin started. She's a very intelligent girl, but like, you know, shit happens, you gotta do what you gotta do. But again, I get the argument of the trope, though it's played out or whatever, but that's exactly the origins of her how she became Ironheart with the suit and all that shit. So like that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you know,
Now, but I will say the
was-
stuff with Okoye or not Okoye, Shiri is that's kind of ham-fisted in there, but it also makes sense for it to be there.
Well, you got to remember too, like we've said before, that movie had no business being nearly as good as it was after what happened to Chadwick Boseman. So
Yeah.
the fact that movie turned out good at all, I think it's a testament to what they did with that. But for those of you who are out
I don't
there
think it
thinking
was that good.
well, it was okay.
It was good.
All things considered, I'm not going to hate on it too much just because they had
I
a
thought
So
even if it
I
was
will say okay, but I don't know. Yeah, like I said, without Chadwick in there, it was just whatever.
Yeah. So for those of you who think that this is too much Marvel content in the next year with 3 more movies on top of it too, remember, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies are going to only be like 4 episodes. They're going to be real short. For the most part, it's really not that bad. Again, they're just trying to get all this stuff out before they start to kind of hit the reset button and move a bit forward past this multiverse stuff. They're trying to get all these projects that they've had sitting completed for a long time out the door to get something in return. So
I will say the Wonder Man one is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I want to see more with it. Trevor Slattery from Iron Man 3, he was in Shang-Chi, and now he's back in this. Some people can take or leave him as a character, but he's purely comedy. So if you don't like that, you're not going to like this probably in that regard. But I'm interested to see more about Wonder Man. I don't know much about him. Do you?
It's like the Marvel version of Superman. I don't think he's an alien. I don't think he's like an alien though.
I thought that was Century though. That's going to be in Thunderbolts.
I guess it's too many, honestly.
Yeah, it's very true.
Stop making more Superman.
Well, they're making actually a Superman movie next year. So
yeah,
you can do that.
But no, Wonder Man, it'd be good.
Kathy said life at work is about to be a transformer, and you're kind of not wrong. Some of the automation we got going in there for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I can never get one system to communicate with the other system.
Yeah,
exactly.
We gotta have on that thing.
What? You cut out.
On the thing is the line.
I have no idea what's happening with him right now. He's got a lag. He's buffering. It's crazy. But anyway.
What did he say? It sounded like a different language.
Something.
Anyway, I think the only movie I think or TV show, everything we talked about, the only thing I'm excited for is probably Fantastic Four.
Well, that's supposed to be, of all the ones I just showed you, that's the one that's just been written recently. So that is one of those that is now beyond the point where Marvel decided to shake things up. So hopefully that movie will be at least on the right track, setting things
like I
forward.
said, the Wonder Man one is dope because, like, again, it's a hero that not everybody knows, and it's something fresh, something new. I mean, I like that they're actually introducing characters, and they're not afraid to introduce characters that don't have like a huge following or whatever.
Yeah.
So Wonder Man, I mean, that's a shout out. That's gonna be. I hope it's really good.
Does he have powers? Because in the trailer, it didn't seem like he had powers.
Well, I don't think they want to show you too much.
You'll see.
It's still over a year away for that one, so I think they want to wait till next December to kind of show you all their cards in that regard. Mike said, "Here he goes. Which Avenger would have the best chance to defeat Superman if such a battle would occur?"
Thanos.
Look at Miranda.
Next.
Thor.
I mean, Thor's up there. Yeah, I would say Thor.
Because Thor, you know why? No,
yeah.
I take that back. Who uses magic?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange would beat Superman.
Hello, Daddy.
Because it's a dumbass weakness they gave him.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize Superman's weakness is magic outside of just kryptonite. So.
That's why Black Adam was able.
Don't give him pink kryptonite.
Yeah, definitely don't give him pink kryptonite for sure.
He can't handle the green one. There ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the next movie topic. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people in here who really care about it, but I figured that at least Matt might want to put his 2 cents in.
Don't yell, baby.
Maybe
Don't
Squishy
yell.
does too. But apparently Star Wars has a new trailer for Skeleton Crew coming out in December. So I thought we'd watch that real quick, react to it, see what you guys think about it. I know some of you may not be big Star Wars fans, but I thought we might at least give it a look, see what you guys think. So here we go.
What are you in for? What are you in for? go to them.
I found something buried in the woods. Dad.
This is unacceptable. Do you understand?
That's us.
It is. Don't touch anything. What did you do? We're lost. Really lost. Stay together. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Pay up. Whoa. Where'd you two find an old Republic credit? Over here, quick. I'll get you home. We'll make a partnership. But we have to move fast. I need you to take the controls.
Okay. Neil? Neil?
A crew of murderous pirates is coming. Something's wrong. They're not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Oh, be warned of booby traps. Pirates and mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up. No matter what.
All right, Matt. First thoughts. You're shaking your head.
Right.
He's muted also.
Right.
It sucks.
Well,
You think it
yeah,
sucks? Yeah. My first thoughts are it's Lost in Space meets Guardians of the Galaxy meets the Goonies.
I was
That's what it's-
literally thinking, I was like, this is like Guardians of the Galaxy for
It's
kids.
yummy.
Yeah.
I was thinking a little bit of like Stand By Me. One kid found
Yeah.
something cool and told all his friends. about it.
Please.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested.
Please.
It's
But I will say, I did see
Different.
but it looks like a pirate skull behind it, right? You see,
I was
do you
thinking
guys
if I
see
ever
that?
get a widow's peak like that, please just tell me to cut my hair.
Please.
do you see it? Like it looks like a pirate skull.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
in
It
the
might be that
picture.
droid they showed.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say too. Now, is that the same droid that was in was it 1?
No, you're thinking Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One.
I don't
It
think
looks
so.
like
It's similar for sure. It might be like a different model, but I can definitely
Stop making
Yeah.
Star Wars movies.
start making it.
Well, stop making crap Star Wars movies.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Is,
crap Star Wars.
Please.
Is Dave Filoni behind this one?
No. Not well. It is in the Mandalorian timeline, but I don't think he's behind this. He's too busy with Ahsoka and the Mandalorian movie and the Thrawn stuff. coming out.
Accolade made me cry.
I don't know, man. I'd watch it honestly, just to because yeah, you're right. It's all of those things. It's
Yes.
a Star Wars version of the Goonies. I
You
can
wanna bite?
see all of that,
Okay.
but it also
Yummy.
looks intriguing.
Yummy.
Simply
Yeah,
because if these
Yes.
characters are based off of
Yes, it
other
is.
grown, as we would know adult characters now, but this is like the origins of how they got together or whatever. This is actually, good. It's a good
Stop
pace
farting on me.
as far as an origin story goes. Where like you see these kids fall into a life of piracy, I guess, because that's what it
Right.
looks like this is going.
Well, supposedly they all get lost and they need help to find their way home. Again, it's kind of like
Mhm.
journey type thing back home. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Well, I already have one.
definitely different. It's not the Star Wars we're all used to.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. It's
No.
definitely a swing that they're taking.
Yeah,
But we
this
always
is-
say we want something different, and here they go with
Mhm.
something different. And now everybody's like, "Well, it don't feel like Star Wars." So, I don't know.
I don't think,
I mean,
but I don't think that's
Um,
necessarily a bad thing because Star Wars is not going to feel like it did for us then because it's not then, it's now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, Star Wars has hit what Star Trek once had a problem with, where it just kind of got stale.
Stop
Yeah.
dropping them.
And
That's-
Star
and
Wars
maybe
needs
this is-
You're
something
not
new.
going to see me.
Yeah, maybe
So
this
maybe-
is that way.
I mean, I don't think this is going to be it. Personally, for me, I mean, we'll have
You
to
want
wait
down?
and see. I love Guardians of the Galaxy though, so maybe it'll work. But I mean, I'm with Matt though. I kind of want to see more movies and good movies.
Yeah.
But that's
I
Well,
what
the
would
we
movies
see-
can be that that feel. If
Eric-
this is a TV
Eric.
show,
True.
essentially, why can't it have a different tone?
You're not wrong with
Eric.
that. Yeah.
You know,
Eric
like
and Brandon.
what?
If it's in the
At the very end,
Uh-huh.
at the very end of Rise of Skywalker,
Uh-huh.
now this enough time has passed where I can talk about this.
Yeah, say it. Just say it.
It's not a spoiler at this point.
Oh, it's like 6 years old or something.
You had every chance to do something beautiful with Rey and Kylo Ren, and they shit on it.
What did you like? What do you mean? What did you want to do
You
with
could
it?
make series. They could have
What do you
had
say?
kids. They could have moved on.
Well,
He sit there and died, and I'm like, what are you doing?
probably because Adam Driver probably didn't want to come back for anymore.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
you
he
know,
doesn't have to. It could be a recast.
hey, Matt, you know they're making another Rey movie, right?
For what?
It's supposed to be set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker.
And it won't be good.
Well, that's
Did it?
debatable. We'll have to see.
didn't Adam Driver
I
have
rest
some
my
run-ins
case.
with the law?
What's that, Aaron?
Didn't Adam Driver have some run-ins with the law?
No, you're thinking of the guy from.
I've had
Avengers,
run-ins with
I
the
think.
law too. It's okay. We both live in Indiana. We'll make it past it. Anyways,
At least I don't think he did. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think he did.
I mean, going back to the Skeleton Crew, I think I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be good for you and the kids. I think that's they're definitely aiming for children here.
So like, here's the thing.
Yeah,
If the
that's
movie's
kind of what my hope is that because it's kind of like a kid adventure thing that they might kind of stay in that realm and there won't be anything.
I mean,
too deep.
you also got to remember that these are for 8-year-olds.
Yeah, Star Wars is
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
for kids. So yeah,
But what I'm
I
saying is, like,
understand that.
if the movies still hold the feel that the movies hold for you, and the TV
Nope.
show creates that same nostalgic feeling of the shows of Lost in Space and all those.
That's Mother's Day.
Why can't you have that also?
Day.
You get what
Well,
I'm
the
saying?
original
Right.
Star Wars
It's
wasn't
Mother's Day,
for
Daddy.
children.
It's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
It was for adults.
It's Mother's
Now
Day.
these newer movies, these are actually for kids.
well, even
Yeah,
George
so-
Lucas said the
Yeah.
originals were for kids. It's just
Mhm.
adults latched onto them. Well, they grew up with them, and then they became adults, and then they wanted more adult films, but he
Mhm.
never made them for adults. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimately, I'm with Eric.
You have
You
a
know, you take a swing at something new.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely a swing, and we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
I'm just more like Seth mentioned, Dave Filoni stuff with the Ahsoka, the Thrawn stuff. They got a Thrawn movie coming out. The Mandalorian Grogu's coming out in a couple years. That movie. So I think that stuff's where I think Star Wars best stuff right now. If they can follow through with that. But the Rey
Develop it
stuff,
into a movie.
this,
Develop it into a movie.
well, the Mandalorian is becoming a movie.
Mhm.
Good. As
Baby,
it should
stop.
be.
Yeah, and it's becoming in theaters in 2026.
If you
The
wanna
Thrawn
play,
movie's
go play.
coming to kind of tie into the Ahsoka stuff
Okay.
as well. So they're definitely building it out
Because
in
you know
that
it's bedtime.
timeline. But yeah, so let's have to wait and see what they do. All right, let's move on to the last movie bit of news. There's no more trailers or anything. But Aaron saw this on the list of topics, and he kind of
Aaron Rose.
had a bit of
Yep,
a bit of a
there's 6
meltdown, I
squares.
guess you could say, at work. Jumanji 3, starring Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan, has officially got a release date of December 11th, 2026. It's technically the 4th overall Jumanji film if you count the Robin Williams original, which most
That's
people tend to
Robin
love the
Williams,
most.
though. That's not Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I agree. I understand it.
They made a reference to him.
Yes,
so-
they did.
they
It's
did.
technically a sequel to the Robin Williams films. Those two films are.
Mhm.
But yeah. So, did you guys get a chance to see the new versions or the old one? And what are your thoughts on the third film?
Did I watch?
I
the
mean,
second one?
it's a rock movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be The Rock playing The Rock for sure. Like I mentioned to Aaron at work, he was kind of like, "Well, did we necessarily?" I think he's
You went down?
like along the lines of, "What? Do we need another one?" I was like, "Well, you got to remember the second film in the post-credit scene ended on a bit of a cliffhanger where the video game, which was destroyed, but the video game characters started to merge with the real world. So, kind of like the whole scene in the original film where some of the characters came into the real world." We may be getting the whole game coming into the real world in the third and maybe potentially final film. So in that case, it'll be a little bit different than the movies we've already seen, at least. So
Please don't
hopefully
Fast
that's
and Furious this shit.
Yeah, well,
I will
Yeah.
be interested to see
You want to bite?
what or how they're going to explain how they become the characters again. You know?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Unless this time the kids actually are in the movie with their video game characters, maybe side by side. That may be a way you do it a little bit differently instead of actually merging.
That would be kind of fun.
I mean, that might happen now that those kids are a little older now. If you bring back the same actors, I don't know.
She's real excited about it.
Why is the Rock? Why is the Rock in this movie?
Because
he's always been in the movie. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All four of these are coming back for the third film. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many more we need, but since they did set up the trilogy, as it were, I am at least interested to see how they end it. We've known this movie is coming for a while. We just now officially have the release date. So in about 2 years' time, it'll be hitting theaters. So, yeah. All right. Well, we had a. What's that?
If they do not have Danny Glover's Pegasus appear in the third film, I will be disappointed.
Don't yell, baby. Where are you going to go sit down? Yeah, I know. It's my Training 2.0 patches. Thank you.
Kathy said that skeleton crews are, in fact, the best. Obviously, referencing work. And then Mike, well, Kathy said I voted us. So I think, yeah. Anyway, maybe she means she voted. And then Mike said, what's an old movie that you feel should be remade today?
Gone in 60 seconds.
I like that one.
Which one?
I think Goonies could be remade.
Well, I would like the reboot too if they tried another one.
I think they could do another Gone in 60 seconds.
See that? Even though I like the Nicolas Cage one so much.
Yeah, but with like the advancement of cars, having like the super rare cars.
Well, I think Mike's kind of more old than National Treasure, Matt. That's still only like.
I'm just saying you could remake it today and it'd be just as good as there was, you know.
There's been 3 of those movies.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
And the last one sucked.
I said less Nicolas Cage.
Hey, I like those two National Treasure movies. I wish they'd have made that third that they teased, but they never followed that up. I'm still waiting to find out what's on page 47 of the president's book. But apparently we're never going to find that out. Maybe Trump can, release those documents as well.
Movie? I'm trying to think of like movies that
Green Lantern.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
That's already happening.
Well, Green Lantern is not Brother Where Art Thou. What about Friday, Brandon?
Nope.
Yeah, nope. I don't think I would either. It's one of those that you can't touch. I don't know why. I know you like that movie. That's why I thought of it. They better not redo Star Wars, even though they kind of already did with The Force Awakens.
Man, what?
Drop Dead Fred. Star Wars with The Force Awakens.
Basically,
Freddy got fingered.
No, that movie was terrible.
Drop Dead
garbage.
Fred. Simply because if you've never seen the movie,
stop yelling.
You
Are you going to get down?
You couldn't do that style of movie and comedy.
Yeah.
Again, but to see it done again would be nice.
Yeah, I can see that. Mike says, "Do not remake Goonies. The original is great and does not need remade or need a sequel."
Oh, don't do
it is getting a sequel from the sounds of things right now.
That is a terrible idea.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I agree with that. There's certain things you don't want to touch.
Let's make 12 Lion Kings. Let's make 14.
Well, they're doing
Star
that remade in
Wars.
live action. So if you count CGI lions as live action.
I got one for you. The Human Centipede.
No.
The Lion King, but it's done by.
I think Miranda got a little sick on that one.
Miranda, why do you just look so disappointed?
I'm exhausted. Just to be
She's
honest.
she wants to get to the politics so she can go to bed. I think seems to be the
Halloween kicked my butt.
Yeah.
Walking around town was not fun.
Speaking of which, one of the most polite little ones right here. So good. Fucking thugged it out the whole entire time. So, did you get lots of candy?
Yeah.
And what were you for Halloween?
I did witch.
And what was mommy?
About witch.
And what was daddy?
With
Yeah.
That's cute.
And what was Beeb?
Iron Man.
Yeah, he was.
With Gracie.
I don't know what Gracie was.
A white pocket.
Just knocked him out.
Come, Daddy. use the glasses.
Yeah, it's okay. I know you didn't mean to.
Mike said Human Centipede 2 was worse than the first. Oh God, they did do a sequel.
Yeah, there is, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, that's gross. Either way,
It's
gross.
probably like Sharknado. There's probably like 10 of them somewhere or another. Or Fast and Furious movies. If you're Brandon.
Don't do that at all.
No, I think there were only 2 human centipedes. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, okay.
They need to make 3 of them.
I just saw the South Park rip on it where they sewed their faces. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh.
That was disgusting, but hilarious.
It's literally lips to.
Oh wow, Mike said there's actually 3 of the human centipedes.
Oh.
Mike must
Like,
have boxed
who is demented enough to think of enough for 3 fucking movies?
Hey, I mean, they did the Saw movies.
I was gonna say they made like 15 of those.
Yeah.
What were they?
Saw.
I mean, at some point it was just like torture porn.
Oh, I think they're making another one if I'm not mistaken.
Why?
Well, they made one.
I could be wrong on that.
They made one with The
What's
Rock.
wrong with their youth in this country?
Matt,
'Cause they
horror
think
movies
it's
have always
just like
done that,
that.
though.
They made one with The Rock called Spiral.
Was it the scary movie that's getting a remake?
Yeah, with the Wayans brothers is coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Thank you. Thank you.
I actually like those movies. Though.
That might be funny. I might watch that, but movies are dumb these days.
Yeah.
And they happen to be one of the bigger topics we have on the show, so that's awesome.
I got a
I don't
movie.
have any
You know
boogers,
what
Kit.
we should do? I have a membership for the Angel Studio Network.
Uh-huh.
We need to start watching movies on there.
It's just having a hard time finding all of us to watch the same thing to talk about it. That's
Yeah.
gonna be the thing. But I'm down.
We should do a streaming movie thing.
Yeah, and we'll
What?
watch this. We should do a streaming thing so we can all watch it at the same time. And then
Yeah, we can watch
I
it
think you
in
might have a
Discord.
problem with. I think the only thing that might stop you is like copyright.
Yeah, you
Well,
have
no,
to
no.
stream it. It's just for
We'll,
us.
we'll do it in Discord.
Which is
And
us.
then just
You don't have to
review
stream
it.
it.
Yes, baby,
Yeah.
it's 6 squares.
You can just watch it.
Mike says we could ditch Matt and keep the kid. She's cute, entertaining, probably the same height too. Brother. And Kathy's like, I like a scare not. Or not. I got you. Talk about old phrases from last week. Not. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 6 people.
Yeah.
You're yelling. There's no reason to yell.
Or like what's up from the old scary movies.
Yeah.
Stop yelling.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could do with a scary movie again. Those aren't bad.
Oh, it sounds like I just know they kind of got a little silly.
So I got a movie which kind of an obscure movie. But you know how the old, I want to say 1980s classic Titans, right?
Yeah.
And they made it in 2000s.
Yeah, it didn't go so well.
There was a movie that was, I think it was made by the same people. It was called Jason and the Argonauts.
I've heard of it.
I'd like
Oh
to see
yeah.
that.
Actually, yeah, I can see that.
Flash Gordon.
Flash.
I mean, they kind of represent enough in Ted to get the point.
Stop. If you keep yelling, okay. Go away.
Yeah.
Flash
You're
Gordon
not
was really
listening.
good, the original.
Go. No.
Mike says, "You see, they are making another scary movie." Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, they're getting another one with them coming back to write it.
Oh, I can't say
I'm
no
not
to
sure.
you.
I'm not sure they're going to star in it, but they're going to write it, I believe. So what can we say?
Oh no.
All right, let's move into the sports section here, and let's.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, exactly. So let's check that out. All right. Well, request Kathy, who in a private to me, she has,
Go IU.
if we were going to talk about the Hoosiers,
What happened?
Calm down, y'all.
who are currently ranked number 13 in the nation, which
Why?
is where they were last week as
And
well.
counting.
Doesn't that coach just give off Ricky Bobby vibes? You know, I'm the best around. I wake up in the morning,
Yes.
I just piss excellence.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
That Google me line took me. I will say that. He said
Google me.
Google me. I'll win.
If you don't like the Hoosiers, then you can just go fuck yourself.
Uh,
Then you go root for somebody else.
Look, all I'm going to say is if it's the coaches doing, just look at what bad management can do to a team or good management can do. And that
I
goes
agree with
for
Miranda.
everything.
Well, he also
Dogs
brought
are
like
barking.
Well, let's not forget he also brought like 9 players from his old school with him.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
I think we all know what it looks like when there's bad management.
Stop. What do we say?
I agree
Really?
here.
Because you've just been saying, I want to bite. I want to bite. And there's no been any pleases until I said something. Oh, I can't say no to you.
She is the star of the show. What'd you start to say, Matt?
Bad management.
We talking about, game. We talking about work. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about the game, Eric. I don't know what
Okay,
you're
I got
talking about.
I didn't say nothing. I'm just
Let's talk about the fact that they have scored pretty much over 30 points each game.
Yeah. But those are
And
all
besides-
the LSU players that came over with the coach.
Miranda.
Either way,
It
that's
don't matter.
better for us.
It don't matter. Just whenever you pitch excellence, people just want to be around excellence.
Yeah,
I will say his record is crazy. Crazy work.
No,
Miranda.
they're outscoring their opponents by double digits in every single game this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Steelers fan. You've seen the Steelers.
The last time
management.
Okay, hold on. The last time that the Hoosiers were this good was when my father-in-law played.
Oh yeah, humble brag there.
67.
Yeah. Well, they play their 9th game of the season at Michigan State tomorrow around 3:30 Eastern Standard Time.
And it's Michigan State.
Yeah, it's not Michigan. It's Michigan State.
I thought I said Michigan State. My bad.
Quit.
Michigan week after.
Yeah,
It don't
matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Does Ohio State matter in about 3 weeks?
I'm not worried about Ohio State. I'm worried about Michigan State. They don't worry about Ohio State.
Is there somebody at work that's like big Michigan State fan?
No, he's not. No, he doesn't work there no more.
Dusty Brown.
Yeah, it was Diego.
Is Dusty a big Michigan State fan?
Dusty Tate.
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan guy.
Oh, is he?
Michigan State.
He wears Michigan State
Michigan
stuff
State.
around.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Chris is the Michigan guy. Mike said bad management. We talking about Matt's fantasy team?
Hey, don't jinx it. He'll probably win this week. Half my team's on bye.
Keep going, Michael. You're doing a good job.
I don't know, Miranda. Your team still looks like it would do pretty well even with
I know. He has so many tabs up.
Is she counting my tabs?
Gonna be there all night.
That's awesome.
She can get to 20.
Next slide.
As for the NFL, though, we'll turn to that. I thought it'd be interesting to talk a little bit about rookies. Here are the rookie rankings after 8 weeks. Obviously, James Daniels is looking to win Rookie of the Year from all the rookie things.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. for the Jags. Brock Powers.
Hey, stop yelling. Stop yelling.
Malik Neighbors has dropped a couple spots, and Marvin Harrison Jr. has come up a little bit. But some interesting names there. Some names I've never even heard of, to be honest with you. I never even heard of Adrian Cooper before this week. No offense to you Packers fans out there. But
Miranda found all about Lad McConkey last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my bench.
Why is Marvin Harrison number 9?
Because he's had some rough weeks where he's not done much.
No. Let me explain to you why. Because this is yet again another example of mismanagement of the Cardinals. Because they do not know how to run an effing NFL team.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Picked a
But,
player, a good player, and you wasted him.
Well, I mean,
Well, they did the same thing with Larry Fitzgerald.
Exactly.
Well, that if he's like the only really, really, really good receiver on the team, he's going to get double and triple team. So that's part of it.
Then that's on management's fault to fix that issue.
Well, agree, but it's just his rookie year. Give him a little time, I guess.
Request a trade.
Wow.
Rookie season.
Yeah, you're not getting him.
It's not going to happen.
He's a rookie. He ain't getting.
You just want him to come to Indianapolis because his last name's Harrison.
No, I want him to go to Washington.
Like they need the help right now.
No, he'll come to Indianapolis as soon as we get the youngest Manning.
Arch.
I think I said on this podcast.
I think Arch is the answer.
A while back ago is that was the hey. This is all right. Go away, you.
Anyway, but yeah.
I just want to say this about Indy. I guess Indianapolis is a freaking nightmare because of who being in town this weekend. So I hope she curses y'all's stadium.
Oh, is
Watch
she
your
coming
tablet.
to town? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Diego's
not
wife
go
said they were up there, and it is a mess.
I can only imagine.
Hopefully she stays up there for a while.
No, she could leave.
No.
She can stay here as long as she wants to.
Well, you could just let her move in right in one of your houses.
Hell no, she ain't in here.
Speaking of Matt, though, he's got Bo Nix on his fantasy football team, and he does lead all rookies in total touchdowns right now for the Denver Broncos. But I don't think he's doing much good on Matt's team.
Eric, but those 12 touchdowns are spread out across every game.
Well, that's generally how that works. Yeah.
That's how you get those, Matt.
It's usually on your bench. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Because you don't know when they're coming and when they're not. But
I made a fatal mistake, apparently.
It was worth noting, though. What was your mistake?
I left Stroud in, and I should have swapped him out for Purdy.
No, I'm fine with that move. You're good.
That was a good move, Brandon.
Yeah, he's playing me this week. Now
Keep
Brock
him in last
Bowers.
place.
Brock Bowers, the rookie tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders, through 8 weeks, Brock Bowers not only leads the league in receptions, but is also the only tight end in NFL history with 50-plus reception in his first 8 starts. So,
Eric, who'd the Colts have a chance to trade up for?
Actually, I think they.
Eric.
Obviously, they could have took him at 4. They were going to take him at 4.
Eric.
Dude. What?
He would have been a better pick.
Well, that's debatable. Well, time will tell. But we'll get into Nancy
I think we're done. I think we're done with that experiment.
We're done debating that.
I don't know about that. But anyway,
but you know what? But Eric, the defensive player you guys got, he wasn't a bust either.
Bro.
Latu. Oh, I'm sorry.
Latu was not a bust.
I'm sorry. Anthony was last year. I'm thinking Latu.
You're right. Latu.
I mean, I guess you could have. Actually, I think he went right before the Colts drafted.
Latu was a good.
Colts would have had to go draft up, move up to get Bowers. That's what matters.
He ended up being a good player.
Yeah, well, and we'll say more about out of him too. I mean, these are all rookies. So.
You're always seeing the tip of where he'll develop and he'll be a better player.
Yeah, and I'm sure Bowers will too. But the problem with the Raiders is their quarterback. No offense to Minshew, but they're having some issues over there.
They're having some
Are
issues.
they not?
Yeah. So obviously the Chiefs ended up winning this game. That's pictured here anyway. As of the AFC
this
player
man
of the
right
week,
here,
Jameis Winston has come in for the
money.
Browns, and they are beating the Ravens. No offense to Aaron. So. Who knew?
Man.
We all knew, actually, but no one was listening to us. So,
Brandon,
did
you guys see the GIF or like the one where it showed? It was the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Drax.
Drax just laughing.
Laughing.
You should be so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Miranda Steelers also getting a little bit of love this week as TJ Watt is the defensive player of the week at 7 tackles, 2 sacks, forced fumble, and a fumble.
Too bad he's on Brandon.
Yeah, how did he not win defensive player of the year last year is wild.
Criminal. That's criminal.
It's all political.
Yep.
Everything's political.
This guy.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Matt, was he on your bench? Matt, was he on your bench?
Yes, he was on my bench.
Yeah,
he doesn't have Taylor Swift on his playlist.
Taylor Swift. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. The aforementioned Pittsburgh Steelers beat the New York Giants 26-18 on Monday Night Football.
Let me tell you something. The Giants wanted to win that game so badly.
They had, brother.
They tried
there were
everything to win that game.
The score should have been way higher than what it was. Pittsburgh got 2 touchdowns taken away from them.
Hell, the Giants did kind of too.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Both teams had a touchdown with the other foot didn't get down. So
it was wild. But then the other night, apparently, the other day, the game, same situation.
Hold on. I have a question. If you can just cross over the pylon to have a touchdown, you don't even have to touch anything. How is it not a fucking touchdown?
Because
I think it's got
the Steelers.
I think it's got something to do with when you're running like a runner or something, and you cross the goal line, you already have possession of the ball. So when you go up and catch it, you don't have possession yet until you establish yourself in the end zone. So I think that's what
like
it is.
that dude for the Jets who
did
fumbled
the same
it right.
thing in that game. He reaches one hand, right?
I know, yeah.
But it was a touchdown.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
you
they
guys
gave him
watch-
as a touchdown.
Yeah, his knee's out of bounds. His shin comes down before the knee, so they're trying to say the shin was down first. But I'm with you. It's always, to me, it's like 2 feet, knee, elbow, and I guess shin and forearm counts too. But to me, I saw that, I'm going, that's probably not a score, in my opinion. But then again, I get it what they're trying to say there. So
Man out here looking like Michael Jordan.
I know. Yeah.
It was a hell of a catch. Like, it really was. It was an amazing catch.
Yeah, this was Thursday Night Football, Jets versus the Houston
He
Texans.
extended his legs.
Yeah, so obviously the Jets get a big win there. It actually helps the Indianapolis Colts if they can somehow get a win against the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see on that one.
The Vikings, since their bye week, have not been doing very well.
No, they've lost 2 in a row now.
Yeah. Did you watch Mike Tomlin during that game?
Yeah.
Like Mike Tomlin, he is a very patient dude. But every time that touchdown got called back,
he was pissed.
He was just you could see his patience.
Well, one of them was a penalty by his own player, so he should be mad.
That first one, he was mad. I was like, everybody should be mad.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He's a pretty mellow dude.
Well, yeah, usually. Well, unless he.
Yeah.
What about the guy that dropped?
Idiot?
Yeah, that's what Mike's asking about. He said, "What about the idiot on the Jets who dropped the ball at the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
Worried more about celebrating." Yeah, he pulled a Deshaun Jackson. But I don't even remember his name though. It was Conley or something like that.
Yeah, he was
a rookie. Yeah, he pulled. We've seen this before in the NFL. If you've watched the NFL for any amount of time at all,
come on,
you got to make sure you cross that goal line before you drop the ball for sure.
Like I said, I think what it was a factor, right? They had lost 5 straight, and it was his rookie. They were just probably giving him for the ball for the sake of giving him reps.
Yeah.
And he breaks out. I mean, he was moving. And he just got overexcited, misjudged where he was. Like, that's the only thing I can think of as to why you would do that.
But you know what?
At the same time, why not carry that ball all the way in the end zone with you?
Yeah.
But you know what, Brandon? He got there, so you know he can score.
He did not.
But he didn't, though. That's the
But
problem.
you know he can score now.
touchdown?
So I'll be giving him the ball more.
Yeah.
This was my favorite one, though, that Mike's about to mention, or the Indian Bears defender that was taunting the Washington Redskins fans before losing the game for his team. That was hilarious.
Hey, I tell you what, I bet you he was happy for once they stopped talking about what he did.
Yeah. He had to deal with it about 4 days, and after that, he's like, well, he's off me now.
Nah, bro. What you did was asinine.
You want your what?
With his hands on his hips.
Well, it wouldn't have been so bad, but he actually ran in and tipped the ball to the receiver.
Yeah, and then you're the one who actually tipped
Okay,
the ball.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if he'd have just kind of stayed where he was or just gotten to the pile, wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But
Go watch
he
the
was
show.
the hand who did it. So yeah, it was pretty sad.
Okay, we'll go pick it up.
But yeah, what else we got here? Obviously, the Indianapolis Colts lose on Sunday to the Houston Texans, 23-20. Despite Houston not having their star wide receiver, it was definitely an ugly day for the Indianapolis Colts. So ugly, in fact, that it led to the biggest news story for the Colts for sure, and possibly in the NFL.
Well, I wish I could say that I was fucking tired.
Yeah, exactly. Tap out.
Just tap out. Oh, yeah, I'm tired.
No, I don't want to do this 12-mile ruck. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna call it quits.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, that was never going to sit well with coaches or fans or other players or anybody by doing that.
No.
Obviously, running backs have done it, corners have done it, but most of the time, quarterbacks don't do that. So it definitely made it look like he was a little soft.
What, baby?
But yeah, the Colts obviously make the switch.
Good.
The Joe Flacco now. I got a feeling the way Brandon and Matt were talking a while ago that this is the right call in their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You left with no other choice because if you watched any of the interviews or when they interviewed the players, nobody respects him for it. None of them. None of his teammates respect him for that.
That's the way they sounded to the press, but they're not going to tell you that. But
you can't expect me to follow a dude who just quits because he was tired.
I don't disagree with
you. Think about any other position that's out there, like you out there, and you tap out. Like I can't tap out. I'm still holding this 300-pound dude back from running you over for 4 down. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you just tap out. Like, I can't tap out. I'm tired. Like, that's
now that being said, and I don't disagree with any of that. The tap out is bad. He shouldn't have done that. It didn't sit well, and it shouldn't. But if you go back and look at some of those plays, a lot of the time, how many times, and once again, the receivers are not helping him out. They're just not. We'll see how they do with Flacco.
They've done answered well with Flacco though. That's the issue.
But let's not pretend like Flacco was lighting the world on fire with the offense either.
I'm not, but I'm saying
I made it.
now part of that was because Jonathan Taylor wasn't playing. I think when Flacco was in there either, so that's part of it. Maybe that gets better.
Flacco is the best.
You Ravens fan.
He took the Ravens Super Bowl.
But Richardson too. A lot of those passes on last week's game. He maybe had 3 seconds before he had a defensive lineman in his face. So in that regard, you can't put it all on AR because he had no time. But yes, I'm not going to sit here and defend him because his play has not been improved much. He's missing receivers at times. He's throwing them over his head. He's not sliding in certain. He does
Baby,
a
you're
little
gonna
bit.
fall.
So yes, he's not completely, not to blame here. He's definitely got some faults, and he's going to have to learn.
Eric,
yeah.
Thank you.
I think Anthony Richardson plays in the NFL like a senior in college does.
No, you can't crawl all over him.
Well, that's basically where he would be in his development at this point. Yeah.
I know. He plays football like he's a senior in college.
Ow.
Well, let me tell you something. This isn't college.
Baby, my leg hurts. Stop.
I agree with you. And it did help the fact that Anthony Richardson before the season literally said playing in the NFL is easy compared to college.
Yeah.
So he kind of jinxed himself here a bit by doing what he
I
did
don't
here.
think so. I don't
dog
think it's
tax,
easier
baby.
to play in college. I think that he had an easy route to the NFL.
You wanna see
And I
him?
think
He's saying the NFL was easier than college.
I don't. That's not true.
That's what he said.
That's not true.
Well, he's finding out now it's not true.
Easy, then he's gonna get humbled.
Well, Mike
No, you
said,
can't
wasn't
take
it
them.
Philip
They're
Rivers that
important.
once played years ago with a broken fractured leg and did not
Daddy
tap out?
needs them in case
There's
I
a lot of
die.
guys. There's a lot of guys you can say that
Die?
about.
Let me
including-
tell you something. Philip Rivers was an awesome quarterback.
Me die.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, he
one of
was.
the best quarterbacks
At
the
one
Colts
point.
ever
That's
had.
so they can identify
Another
him.
guy who didn't get a championship that he probably should have gotten all those years. But again, bad management in San Diego.
You know,
yeah.
Sorry, I just wonder a little bit that, people were kind of banging on him earlier. Like, I want to say about 4 weeks ago, people were already just like done with it. And I wonder if like not having the backing of like the fans and like maybe even some of the other players just didn't help for him to grow. You know what I mean?
It's the NFL. Toughen up, Buttercup. I mean, you're going to get booed if you don't play well. I mean, you're probably not wrong, but I mean, if you're just wanting the fans to just love you all the time, even if you suck, it's not going to happen. No matter what team you're on.
I mean, true, but it does take a hit to your mental state.
Oh, absolutely, it
Or
does.
even your drive to continue if you've got nobody in your corner.
Yeah.
That's
Now-
even going to try to help you. You
Now,
know?
Eric,
what?
Just quote me if I'm wrong, okay? I don't see a pathway for Anthony Richardson to win that job back and the fans.
Well, that's going to be the hard part. Well, that leads me to my next question. Now they've said that this is not the case. They said that they're not done with Anthony Richardson or anything like that. He's going to sit and learn and maybe take some of the weight off his shoulders. And it almost made it sound like, he's dealing with a lot of pressure and they want to kind of alleviate some of that and let him learn.
No.
If that's the case, I understand it. But in your opinion, is he officially done now with the Indianapolis Colts?
Eric, when I look at Anthony Richardson, I see Cam Newton.
Already, huh?
I see Cam Newton. And it's not a bad thing, but I'm scared that AR, all he can do is run the ball.
Well, that is a concern. But I mean, there has been some brilliance with passes. He does get some guys right.
But you know what?
But it's few and far between.
Eric,
Should put him in as a wide receiver.
No.
Or a good running back.
I see that, or as a running back. But you know what?
No, he gets hurt too much to take that much contact.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
But I also see parts of Anthony Richardson's game where he's smart and he can be a good quarterback and he could be a leader.
Yeah,
he needs to do that.
Well, and hopefully,
But he needs to sit and be a backup for a year.
Right, and that's the
He
thing.
needs to sit there and learn.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody wants CJ Stroud. Everybody wants these guys to come in right away. Jaden Daniels and play. But the way the NFL has worked for decades is a lot of times these rookies come in like Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers will sit behind these quarterbacks and learn for 2 or 3, 4 years and then play. Maybe the Colts are going to start taking that approach with him and see how he did. And if that's the case, he's still got plenty of time in his career that he can be able to do that. So hopefully that. But again, if by putting in Flacco, to me, it's like unless you expect to win a Super Bowl this year, I don't know what your long-term goal is with this by just bitching him, other than maybe he learns under Flacco. But then after Flacco retires, then what? Are you just going to try him again? I mean, you got to think a little bit ahead here, in my opinion. Not to mention some of those passes, they want to say, well, he only had 10 completions out of 30-some passes last week. Every single pass he was throwing were 30, 40 yards downfield. Your completion percentage is going to drop when you throw deep like that. Those are very few and far between you're going to hit.
Yes, which, Eric, brings me to my next statement. Throw him some screens. Throw in there some screens. Throw in 5 or 6 passes to Taylor. Throw in 5 or 6.
Yeah, why is Taylor not catching the ball more?
Mix it up.
Or the tight ends, for crying out loud. But you got like 4 or 5 tight ends.
Let me tell you something. I know he's bad at throwing the ball, but he can't be that bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's probably going to work.
If he's missing guys on screens, then we'd be having a different conversation about Anthony Richardson right now.
And I don't think he is. For whatever reason, it was almost like he was set up to fail a little bit last week with all those deep passes to a degree.
Here's what I'm scared of.
Not on purpose, probably, but
here's what I'm scared of. I'm scared that they're hiding how bad Anthony Richardson is for tickets.
I don't know
ticket
about that.
sales. You want ticket sales?
They wouldn't have benched him if that was the case. They'd have said, go out there.
Well, Eric, that's why I think they moved to Flacco, was they're trying to show that, hey, our season's still alive. You guys can come to games. See, that's the thing about Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay does not understand. The Colts fan base does not want this, let's just barely get in the playoffs and then lose to the team
that's what I'm saying about Flacco.
AFC South.
Yeah, that's my problem with Flacco. It's like, what? You put him in, we make the playoffs, we lose the first game, then what? Then where are you at? You know
where
what I'm saying?
are you going? You're not.
So the argument is you let him play and learn, but I get it too both ways. I do. I honestly do. But
Eric, look at that list. Okay?
I know. My fear is he's going to get picked up by another team and he's going to make us look stupid if we cut on him too soon. And look at this list here. All these players who ended up being really good, he's got comparable numbers to them.
Yes. That's my
I mean,
point.
hell, freaking New York, the Giants have now letting, like, what is it? Daniel Jones playing his 71st game.
Okay.
He's still the starter, and he's way worse than Richardson. So
Eric, how much?
I just don't know.
You got to start questioning how much of it is Anthony Richardson and how much of it is Shane Steichen.
Well, I don't know if it's – well, Steichen's play calling can be better, but I think a lot of it more is management like Irsay and Ballard maybe.
He missed the playoffs with a really good team last year.
Oh, he had a backup QB all year too.
Eric, that QB made
is now sucking in Las Vegas.
Eric, that QB made that team a playoff team.
Well, that's maybe what their hope is.
They shouldn't have been.
So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Time will tell.
I don't think that they should give up on him. Maybe he needs to take like a backseat for a minute. Maybe try to get more ground under his feet. But they shouldn't give up on him. If they do that, I think that's going to be a detriment.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with Aaron. It's dumb.
Mike said Archie Manning was practically killed by the 85 Bears that didn't tap out. Back then, it was legal to almost maim the quarterback. So,
Yeah, he did.
He said the difference between Richardson and those other QBs, though, to his knowledge, none of them tapped out. And you're probably not wrong there, especially Matt Stafford, who we knew threw a touchdown pass with basically a dislocated shoulder on one side.
I just, what I want to know is, I don't know what's going through his mind when he thought that was okay.
Yeah. I don't know. And nothing. And not only that, he had the perfect excuse too. He got tackled by the leg. He could have got up and tapped out and been like, "My leg's hurt." At least use that excuse.
He just tapped out and goes, "Well, I'm tired."
Yeah, I know. That's what made it worse. Yeah, that made it worse. So we'll see what they do Sunday night against the Minnesota Vikings, though, and we'll see what happens from there.
The tired could have been more than just a physical tired. Maybe he was like mentally, emotionally tired.
That's what worries me. Because when you say that proves to me that you're not ready.
Yeah.
But that goes into what I was saying before, that he doesn't have anybody on his side, it seems. Like people are just willing just to bench him and just never think about him again,
Yeah, and that's why this was all controversial this week.
I'm fine with that. We can bench him and never think about him again.
Well, I don't think they're going to do.
think we should do that.
Yeah, I don't think they should do that either. I think like you said, maybe this year, and if he's not improved by next year, maybe give him another year to learn, and then after that, either you use him or you're going to have to get rid of him at some point. I just hope it's not too. I just hope I don't want to be cut bait too early. That's all.
I think it's too early to bench him this year. I think you should be playing him.
At least give him another season, because I just think
give him his rookie contract and then figure it out. The first 4 years.
I think you should play him throughout the season. The rest of this season.
Well, they said by the end of this year, if they start to fall out of playoff contention, they may throw him back in there.
Eric,
but,
look at the schedule right now. Okay,
this is this week. Yep.
Okay, you see, do you have the rest of the games of the Colts schedule? Do you have
probably? I mean, the next month is terrible, so we very well could fall out of playoff position by the end of the next month.
What were the teams you said? You named them off.
We play the Bills, the Lions, and the Jets. And the Vikings. So those are all potential losses.
But Eric, what do all those teams have in common?
Good coaching, good play.
Good coaching, good defense.
Well, the Jets, you could argue, maybe we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe the Colts don't want to throw him out there and get killed.
Well,
I mean, I get that.
The bottom line is they said at the beginning of the year they were going to play him no matter what, and now they're kind of reneging on it.
Well,
but again, the tap thing probably affected that to a degree too.
I mean, he's the long-term investment. Am I right?
That's the idea if he works out. But
well, then there you go. Yep. And that's enough there.
Well, and that's all I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't know how I feel about it. But for now, they're going with Flacco, and I guess we'll see how it goes, and we'll find out from there. So yeah, any of these games you guys are looking forward to? The Steelers are on bye this week, so Miranda's probably not going to watch a whole lot of that anyway. For
sure. I'll watch enough to see if I can beat Matt, but
no, they might lose on bye week.
The Ravens got to beat the Broncos.
Ravens got to beat the Broncos. I mean, they might. That's actually a sneaky game. I'm not going to lie to you.
You know what?
Obviously, the Jets won.
I'm going to play Bo Nix just because of that.
Packers and Lions could be good if Jordan Love's plays. I don't know. Chiefs Bucks could be interesting on Monday night. Dallas and Atlanta. Some of those. I mean, Washington's going to roll over. I don't know. The Giants are sneaky, I guess.
Eric,
but
watch the Buccaneers hand Kansas City their first loss.
I think so.
Are the Chiefs
calling it right now?
Yes, the Chiefs are the only undefeated left.
Gosh, maybe the 49ers will do it.
That's the Buccaneers.
Oh, that's the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Niners are off this week. Yeah, but
come on, Baker Mayfield.
I mean, they were last year's part of last year's championship, so let's cross our fingers and hope that somebody will put them in their place.
Well, do you think the Bucs are going to beat them without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin? They're
I meant
yes.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Chiefs are hurting their receiver too.
The Chiefs will sleep through that game.
Well, time will tell. We'll find out Monday night on ESPN for sure.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, I guess Private Prickleberry had to take off here with his young one there. I guess I'm assuming. So yes, we're about to hit into the politics. We got to get rolling on this so we can get that done before the night is out here. So yeah, hopefully we'll get it done through. So one before we do that though, Mike said, "Is Matt willing to put something up to back up his Bucks prediction?"
No.
No, no friendly wager there. Yeah,
I have nothing.
I mean, I can see why.
I don't
probably want to take advantage of that.
I bet one cheeseburger, and I will gladly pay you
Tuesday for a hamburger today, sir.
What is that from? Monty Python?
Popeye, you twit.
It's been a while. I'm old, man. What do you want? So we'll see. All right. Well, I guess we'll get Brandon back here at some point. And,
I don't know where he went. My guess is the dog wanted something.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, we'll talk to you probably next week because I know you're checking out, but I hope at least you went and voted. We'll all need to do that for sure. And I know Brandon and Miranda did, and I don't know if Aaron did or not. So, but yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about that too. So let's get into that. Here we go. Got a little bit of an ad here I thought we'd play too, just to kind of start things off.
When I first came into office, I cut taxes more than any other president. We have created 7 million new jobs, and it led to a growth like we've never seen before. We developed the greatest economy in history by far. When I left office, it changed. Inflation destroyed the lives of so many people. Interest rates went from 2% to 10%. Millions of illegal immigrants, traffickers, and drugs coming into our country. Our country has gone to hell. So I made a decision to run. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. I will fight for you with every breath, and I will never let you down. I'm gonna fight like a G, they all gon' see, and if I die, I'm gonna die free.
President Trump is literally putting his life on the line, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
He is strong, he is fearless, and he is what this country needs right now.
Our cities will be safe, our streets will be clean, and our border will be secure.
We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future.
The left told me to hate Trump. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger.
So if you love this country, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect Donald J. Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
So yeah, that was the official Trump campaign ad that they put out, I believe, last week or something. It wasn't too long. Maybe I think they read it during some of the NFL games, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely good to see that. And it definitely gets my blood pumping for sure. I'm sure there's some people who out there who don't agree with that, but I really don't care. I'm not going to lie, though. That ad somehow doesn't do what we're up against any justice, if you ask me. We're fighting a lot more than just inflation. We are fighting evil. And tonight, you're going to see some of that evil on display here on this show. To be quite honest with you, I think we need to pray for this country. It's already getting bad, and only by the grace of God is Trump going to win this. Not because I don't think Trump can win it, because I do believe he can, but it's because the left are pulling out all the stops already. However, everything we're about to talk about is a sign that Trump is in fact winning, in my opinion. But if you're the praying type like I am, now is the time to do just that. So I'm going to apologize in advance if I get a little bit ticked off in this segment, because some of this stuff just makes me literally angry. So before we get into anything, though, first off, we've now got another endorsement for Kamala Harris, and that is, of course, LaDouche himself, LeBron James. Gee, I wonder why he's adding to the list of celebrities.
Hey, is that him and P. Diddy?
Yeah, that's all of these celebrities with P. Diddy. So it makes you wonder what that potential connection could be there. So yeah,
isn't he like sex trafficking?
Well, listen.
Yeah, if not more.
Isn't he like BS?
Yes.
J-Lo, the one who endorsed her the other night, was with Diddy the night he raped a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I think I've seen some photos
Miranda.
of that, going around.
Brandon,
if they're real.
Do you see all those pictures up there?
It's probably a lot more.
Yeah, name one positive thing those individuals have contributed to society.
That's pretty hard to find.
Okay, thank you very much.
Some would argue, I guess, Oprah's done some stuff, but yeah.
Wasn't Ellen did
picture,
some shit, didn't she?
No, she didn't. No, she doesn't do shit either, Brandon. See,
the Avengers have endorsed her too.
I know, and it made me sick to my stomach. Just because, yeah. Mike said, "Here's a political comment from me, and on that note, good night, all, and take care." So, apparently, not much to say.
That's okay.
Anyway,
I understand. Everyone's entitled to their opinions,
and you're entitled. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it too. That's fine.
Yes, everyone's entitled to their opinions.
We're just a little more open here on this right now.
I'm just telling people mine.
But as we've always said here, too, if you're watching this for the very first time on Rumble or YouTube or wherever, if you don't agree with us, that's perfectly fine. We can have a civil conversation. But once it becomes uncivil, I'm going to block you.
Just because you don't want to talk about it doesn't mean it's not happening.
As long as you watch, that's all that matters.
Hasn't hasn't everybody in this photo done something wrong, like some
I think
bad
so.
shit? Like Ellen, I know Ellen had something with like some of her employees.
A lot of people wonder about her and Anne Heche too. If you remember how Anne Heche,
Yeah.
which was maybe she was starting to I think she was working on a video or something that kind of,
Leo
likes them young. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, Leo likes them young.
That shit was wild.
And Beyonce? And she endorsed Kamala.
Yeah. Beyonce, who Kamala got to come and endorse her, and then told everybody basically she was going to sing, and then she didn't sing.
Miranda.
They pulled a rope-a-dope on that one.
Miranda.
What?
Dude,
do you remember that One Direction singer that fell off the balcony?
We all do.
Does anybody know that Beyonce was checked into the same hotel that he was checked into?
It wouldn't surprise me.
No, I did not know that.
I haven't heard that. I'll have to look into that one. But
I do know Simon Cowell.
Theory.
Simon Cowell feels a little away about
There's
him.
something going on there that doesn't want to be brought to the woodworks.
Well, put it this way: if Trump gets elected, all these people are going down.
Oh,
because he's going to expose it.
Those are the
and why do you think they're endorsing Kamala and they're scared to death right now?
And they're all celebrities.
Well, and speaking of which, 2 states so far have activated the National Guard.
Oh, really? I didn't heard that.
Yeah, Nevada and Washington.
Oh, yeah, I heard they were boarding up Washington, D.C. pretty tight. Is it D.C. or Washington State?
I thought it was Washington State.
Oh, okay. Well, they've got
that does not give me warm and fuzzies that Washington activated the National Guard.
Well, they should have done that when Oregon, right below them there. But yeah,
because that makes me feel
activate the
like
National
they
Guard?
already know some
Nevada and State, I think, according to what Miranda said.
Wait, what? You kind of cut out there.
Washington State and Nevada is what Miranda said.
But why?
I'm trying to verify.
Why?
Yeah.
Afraid it's going to get violent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ahead of the election.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why, Aaron.
Okay.
Oh, it's a fair question.
No,
so I didn't know if something happened that I didn't know.
Poor and misplaced question.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's a lot of cities boarding up stuff no matter what. So, Mike's one of Mike's comments didn't come through. He said, I look forward to seeing who everyone will whine, bitch, and moan about for the next 4 years. Yeah. Well, there's always going to be somebody for sure. But
Aaron, I want to apologize. I have been on Aaron's case all day today. I even hit Aaron at work today. I'm sorry, Aaron.
But anyway, crap, I lost my spot here. Okay, so apparently the reason why I said that ad maybe not do it justice because we've got a lot of shenanigans already happening. We're not even hit election day yet. We're just in the early voting phase right now. But we've already got some election interference possibly already occurring. Not possibly. It looks pretty damn apparent at this point. The New York Times ran a hit piece on right-wing podcasts on YouTube, claiming they are lying and spreading misinformation on the platform. YouTube, though, to their credit, has stated that these accounts are not violating any rules, but that doesn't stop the leftist media from trying to discredit them days before an election, which they're always trying to discredit these outlets like your Ben Shapiro's, your Tim Pool's, Tucker Carlson, whatever it might be. It's completely false. It's a bunch of garbage. They just don't like what they're saying. That's all it is.
Camilla herself said that she wanted to put restrictions on what can be posted on the internet.
Exactly. That's called censorship. But again, they're just trying to make these people out to be
infringes our free speech.
Exactly. Which she claims to be for,
communism.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not American. That's for darn sure. We've also got. Let's see here. Don't do this. Okay, here we go. We've also got voting machines. Apparently, when you click on them, they switch to who you clicked on. Like this guy's tried to click on Donald Trump, and it highlights Kamala Harris every time he tries to click on him. Well, not every. It's kind of glitchy, apparently. But so, and there goes Kamala. That looks like he hit Kamala to you. So all I know is if you're using these machines in Kentucky, and I've heard there may be even some machines doing this in Arkansas as well, do not hit submit on those when it does it. Definitely notify somebody. Hopefully get that fixed. I don't know. But it's just interesting to me. These glitches always seem to go one way. It never seems to benefit the Republicans, ever. So you could say, oh, it's coincidence. Fine. Then explain to me why it never goes Republicans' way. Ever.
According to the Democrats, that's how Trump won the first time.
Yeah, they're going to deny elections too, which we're going to talk about a little bit too. So yeah, this is also something that's going on with these as well. We've got people saying that apparently that once you voted and it prints out who you voted for on your ballot, you may vote for one person, and when it prints out, it tells you a different name. So let's listen to this.
James Carpenter. I just voted in the White Settlement election. I voted for one president, checked it on the video screen. When I got the paper ballot, it had the other candidate's name on it.
This is a text.
Check your paper ballots, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Lucas Clark, and I voted here at White Settlement Library in Fort Worth. I was in line for about 45 minutes, and there were two people that came out and said that their ballots were changed. So everybody double check your printed out ballots. They go in there and they vote, and once they print out their ballot, it's different.
So that's at least got to make you kind of scratch your head a little bit. Like, why would it be doing that? So yeah, that's concerning. We've also got staffers apparently in Levittown, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's got all sorts of problems right now. Pennsylvania is one of the big swing states, obviously, that could decide the whole election. And we've got staffers asking voters to leave their ballots with them outside, and then they will turn it in for them. Do not do that if you're in a voting line. Make sure you submit the ballot yourself into the machine. Otherwise, some of these people may not submit your vote. So here's they are.
The answer is no. So that they
were turned away before the deadline, apparently.
My name is Michael Bannon. Let's not do that. So my name is Michael Bannon. You can fill this out. We'll do the best we can. I have no problem. I've tried my best. You can fill this out.
Kind of hard to hear, but
if you want it mailed to your house, or if you want to pick it up Thursday.
I think they were just kind of like they didn't want to stay and work on it, until the time of closing or whatever, or overnight or whatever. I'm sorry, this is your job, guys. You only got to do it once every 4 years, or every 2 years, I guess. If you're doing, get over it. You're going to have late hours. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. But apparently, they're like, run it through the machine later. No, make sure you're the one who submits it. Otherwise, you don't know what's going to happen to your vote. Don't fall for that crap. We've also got ballots being burned in Oregon and Washington State. Supposedly, they're trying to figure out whose ballots were burned and get those votes counted. The FBI is investigating, which doesn't give me the warm fuzzies. But at the same time, apparently the people who burned these ballots, there were some, I guess they left some like pro-Gaza signs or something on the actual voting boxes or whatnot. So this may not be politically motivated and to like as one candidate or the other at least. But we're definitely got some people burning ballots. So again, this is just more ballots that are not being counted. So it's going to affect the overall vote. So this is election interference. So this is not a conspiracy theory, people. As much as you all wanted to say it was maybe last time, this is what's happening.
See this right here. This is why we need to get rid of the Dropbox shit.
And I understand that there's certain. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say they need a whole different system altogether.
This is not working.
Now, like like our buddy Horton who was on here one night saying about how he's got a grandmother who's not able to go do it. But that part I understand. There has to be some exceptions. You're absolutely right.
We can't believe that.
Well, I'm sorry, Matt. There's some people who can't physically walk, and so mail-in ballots is the only way that they can do it. And you can't just let them vote. But there has to be definitely more restrictions on that type of voting. You can't people who are able-bodied should not be just dropping off ballots. They should be going to the voting booth like everybody else, standing in line.
Maybe what we can do is that the drop boxes have to be like near the police station or something.
I don't know why it's not just done
in the police station.
Yeah,
or in the police station. I mean,
but then again, there's some cops who are going to shut things down, like we're going to show you here in just a second. So it may not matter. But yeah, I mean that there's got to be something. I know Trump's talked about paper ballots, same day voting. Like having watermarks on them, as much as you can do. And obviously, there's going to have to be a few mail-ins and things like that. But
and the post office needs better management. There will just.
Well, that when you've got like hundreds of like Democrat poll watchers and they allow like 20 Republicans, how is that fair? It should be equal on both sides at every location, no doubt about it. And no putting up boards over windows and stuff so you can't see what they're doing. That sort of stuff should not be allowed. It's probably illegal anyway, but they just do it anyway. We've also got the Kamala Harris campaign apparently coordinating on X to put community notes on posts, even when there is nothing misleading in the post, all to boost Kamala Harris's support. Kamala's campaign use of a Discord server to organize volunteers in pushing pro-Harris content across social media. Volunteers are reportedly directed to downvote accurate community notes, countering Kamala Harris's posts, artificially boosting her messaging. The campaign also utilizes the Reach app to distribute memes and videos. These coordinated efforts create a false sense of widespread support, often breaching social media platform terms. So again, they're just trying to manipulate what you see and what you believe. Yes, it's owned by X, but those community notes are done by other people.
Do you know I was asked to vote for Kamala Harris?
Well, I think everybody's kind of
they did the phone number, they did the phone thing, and I hung up on the person.
Yeah. Well, like in this particular
I
post
didn't
here,
even talk. I just hung up on him.
Well, like in this particular post here, the RNC Research X account tried to claim my son Biden's talking about. He says son was killed and died because of Iraq. It was actually a brain tumor, and I was a professor at Penn. Completely made up. And then, of course, they tried to fact check him and say, well, Biden's son died of a brain tumor, likely caused by a bird pit. In 2017, Biden was named a presidential practice professor. And Trump did say there were verified people on both sides, which we've obviously debunked many times here on the channel. So they're trying to just, weasel their way in here and just try to tell you things that even though Biden is clearly lying here, they're trying to cover for him. So it's making
crazy thing about
I don't think Biden is for Kamala Harris.
I don't think Beau Biden died that way either. He was investigating one of the biggest child trafficking people
I think Joe
in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Go back.
I just think that Joe is sabotaging Kamala Harris.
Well, it's interesting when he comes out and does his little faux pas later on the same night at the exact same time when she's giving her closing argument speech. That makes you go, why is he doing that at all at that particular time?
Something's fishy about Joe Biden.
Yeah, we're going to get to that here in a little bit too. Luckily, a lot of this stuff yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait till we get to the Halloween segment. Which you've not seen that. Yeah, that's crazy. We got obviously all this stuff is going on, but apparently Laura Trump and the RNC are trying to monitor it much better than they did back in 2020. Like in Michigan with all these duplicates apparently that they found. Apparently we had duplicate ballots that were cast by people with the exact same voter ID. So 29 different, votes with the same ID. So that should not be happening now. Now, she did say, we immediately investigated this and confirmed that it was a glitch in the system. These duplicates were not and will not be counted. So at least, they're actually getting looked at now. So that's a good thing. And the RNC and all the stuff they've been trying to do for election integrity seems to at least be, for now, having a bit of a difference. So that's a good thing.
See, better management.
Exactly. Yeah. And X is also not suppressing this stuff back when it was Twitter under a different owner. So that helps to get the eyes on this. And the RNC used that as able to use that to their advantage in legal battles too. So yeah. Also, we've got Donald Trump himself suing CBS News in a $10 billion with a B lawsuit for deceptively doctoring Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview. Here's the clip in question where they basically, clipped out what she said to make it sound better in an edited answer.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So you see what they did there? They completely took it, a different answer actually from a different question, and edited it to make it look like the answer to their first question. And that is completely election interference because it informs the audience of something she didn't actually say. So,
and it's still a word salad.
It's still a word salad.
She still didn't say anything.
Now, in some of these instances, the GOP are getting some legal victories, as like this one here. The Supreme Court of the United States ruled in favor of Virginia and allows them to purge thousands of dead people and non-citizens from their voter rolls. Huge win that should not be controversial in any respect.
I think she needs to get a job.
Well, hopefully she'll have to be.
She worked at McDonald's.
No, like a real job.
Well,
not
I think maybe in Gitmo
to be where she is. That's not a real job. that she's been handed to by her political status, by her who she is. She needs to get a real job.
Do they still make license plates in prison? That's what she can do.
Yes, that's great. You know what? That's
But this Supreme Court victory in Virginia was given to Virginia. But the Democrats were trying their best to keep illegals on the voting rolls in Virginia. Makes you go, why would they be wanting to do that? But now here is a video clip of CNN actually admitting that this only helps Republicans, the voting rolls being purged in Virginia, but they should be telling the American people that it actually helps the Americans because that's what democracy is. It's supposed to be a free and fair election, correct?
Breaking news now. The Supreme Court is allowing Virginia to purge suspected non-citizen voter registrations. This is a big decision from the Supreme Court. Just came in moments ago. I want to go straight to CNN's Paula Reed. Paula, what can you tell us?
Jim, this is incredibly significant because this is one of the court's first significant decisions ahead of next week's election. Here, they are allowing the state of Virginia to continue with a program that will purge suspected non-citizens from its voter registration rolls. Now, this is a bit of a surprise because the trial court and the appellate court sided with the Biden administration that objected to this purge, saying that the state cannot, under federal law, remove large groups of people from the voter rolls within 90 days of an election. But there is nothing stopping them from investigating individual voters and removing them from the voter rolls. Now, former President Trump has seized on this issue in Virginia, as have other Republicans, as a way that they should be able to remove suspected non-citizens, calling it sort of a common sense move. And here, a divided court, a court divided across partisan lines, siding with Republicans. Now, Governor Youngkin, who is implementing or attempting to implement this program, he has issued a statement saying, quote, "This is a victory for common sense and election fairness."
Nobody should be against this ruling. None.
Why does she blend it with the trees?
Why does she make it sound like legit? She was like, I don't understand why this is a bad thing. Like, she made it sound like it was okay to have unregistered American, people and dead people voting. Like,
perfectly fine.
Like, what are we talking about here?
The appellate rule is in my favor, but those evil MAGA judges, they overruled it in favor of. They favored fairness, the Constitution, free and fair.
Even when she said that, it was supposed. Oh my God.
They favored democracy. You know that thing Democrats say they're all for until it comes time for fair elections.
Mm-hmm.
You know that thing.
I think anybody that's in favor of that, of illegals voting, should go to a different country and try to vote.
Eric, I've misjudged you. I didn't realize you were this far right.
I'm more right than Donald Trump is, but they call him far right. He's not. He's more of a in the middle of the road moderate.
I have misjudged your character.
God, man.
But anyway.
Let's not forget that when Donald Trump won the first time, before that, he was on the Democrat.
Yeah, he was a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, half of his cabinet are Democrats.
He was a JFK Democrat.
Yeah, which was more right leaning, sure. But yeah, when it comes to far right and far left, though, he's more right of center just a little.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's right wing. He's just common sense, as he would put it.
Yeah.
Which is what it should be. Supreme Court also allowed for early voting for 3 more days in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. There's Pennsylvania again. After police shut down early voting polls early in the vital swing county, preventing voters from casting their ballots. This is the power of X and the First Amendment without censorship. Otherwise, they would have gotten away with this. So here's video of these cops shutting down the early polling or early voting lines before it was time for their deadline to be closed.
Those cops should be charged.
It's 2:41, and they are ending the line.
Nice work, fellas. But
it took 2 of them to put out that fucking sign.
Yeah, here's one of the staffers apparently trying to tell people that it takes a long time, and I think to vote all these, so we have to shut down early in order to count them. No, by law you have to stay open until the deadline. That is the rule.
I love Miranda's view of this shit.
Well, it's frustrating as shit.
It's stupid.
Because this is the stuff that the Trump campaign complained about last time. But they were censored all over the place. No one saw it because of X. Everybody was shut down.
Matt, you got to remember.
Bring it up.
I've been trying to tell people this shit since fucking 2020, and
2020.
I'm just over it. Like,
let's watch them try to explain why they had to shut down before the deadline when it's against the law to do so.
Okay, I want to hear this.
Question. I have to bring someone here about 4 o'clock to vote. Are they gonna?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this.
Are they going to turn everyone down?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this gentleman because the voting is closed right now.
It's closed.
I just want you to talk to this gentleman.
We have the right to vote until 4:30.
I get you.
Why is it closed?
Let me explain it to you.
Please.
Okay. This process is very slow and grueling.
That doesn't matter if we're online.
Very slow and grueling.
Doesn't matter if we're online by 4:30. We have the right to
why
vote.
it had to close was because of a high volume of people in the queue.
Doesn't matter.
Grueling.
Well, then they
They had to cut the line at 1:45.
No,
they cut the line
don't.
at 1:45.
1:45.
You hear that?
3 hours before.
At 1:45.
Here's your.
This is voter fraud, by the way. Who? No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Oh, voter protection. I heard about that on X. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Contact voter protection. Let's see what that.
So they're trying to say because it takes a long time to count that they can cut it off. No, that's not the way the law works. And the Supreme
probably because
Court.
they're using Common Core math.
Where are you back?
Yeah, probably.
I want to hear the rest of that.
Well, it was about done. That's why I cut it off.
Okay.
But they were just trying to make the excuse. But again, the Supreme Court ruled, nuh-uh, you guys get to have early voting again. So they extended it an extra 3 days. However, so we got a win there from the Supreme Court. However, new video and reports are suggesting that the early voting polls are open in Bucks County now, but the lines are 5+ hours long due to the fact that they're staffing it with minimal people, 1 to 2 people per location. So they are actively defying a Supreme Court order to suppress the vote. They're like, okay, we'll leave them open until 4 or 5 or whatever the deadline is, but we're only going to have so many people working it now. That's bullshit. Here's the line.
Notice something about all those people?
Probably mostly MAGA.
Yeah, they're all Make America Great Again people.
That's about how long the damn line was in 2020.
Yeah.
Those aren't blue people.
I mean, some of them could be, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
they don't look
look
it.
what I'm saying.
I understand. We've talked about how they gotta have a particular look sometimes.
They have a look.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty decent line.
Those
5
are-
hours. That
those are
kind of
Trump
line
people.
shouldn't take 5 hours anyway.
No, it
but-
shouldn't take 5 hours.
No, not at all.
That's absurd.
However, though, this same county, apparently there's now video of these same voters after 7 o'clock, long after the deadline is over, are intentionally waiting to get their vote counted.
This is Scott Pressler. It's after 7 o'clock, and here are the voters that are still waiting in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. This is a county that we have flipped from blue to red this year, and still voters 3 hours after the line is supposedly closed are still waiting to vote.
And stay all night if you have to.
We could sit there and have a party. We'd put a little campfire, roast marshmallows, sing campfire songs.
I don't know if you can bring beer, but somebody bring the beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wonder how many of those people are first-time voters.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. How many of them are first-time voters that are making it even more so in the red?
Yeah,
Did anyone-
that's what they don't want.
Did anyone see the dad trying to catch his kid in the back?
Yeah.
I was like, dad facts right there.
It's a universal problem. What can you do? But I mean, you might ask yourself, why is it that Democrats, keep trying to keep illegals on voter rolls, and why they fight every attempt for voter ID laws? This is why. Look at the map. We've showed you a similar map before, but this was actually got the indicators to show you which ones have no voter ID laws. All blue states are where voter ID is not required. 68% of the country believe in voter ID laws, but yet none of the politicians on the Democrat side do. So not only do they try to suppress your vote, now they're trying to, let anybody vote. So,
Yeah.
Because they claim
You
it's
can
racist.
only prolong the inevitable.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they think these people will go home, and some of them have to. Unfortunately, some people who are older can't sit out all night and wait for their vote to be, and they may not even open up the next day. Just let those people just have to wait it out, eventually go home. If they keep it closed, there's nothing they can do about it. But that is voter suppression. That's the stuff the left claims they say that they're against, But here they are now, and I would say the same thing if they were suppressing the left. There's probably some Democrat voters out there too. Let's be fair. There probably are, and I'm just as mad about that. Nobody should have their vote suppressed because they decide to close it early. That's just against the law. So,
vote for Harris. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be like that.
No, I don't know. I mean, you have the right to vote for whoever you want to. You don't have they don't have the right to turn it down. We also got apparently ESPN on ABC accidentally aired the election results as they were trying to, they say they were trying to test it out to see if it was ready to go, which this has happened before as well. I believe it even happened last time. And obviously it said the reporting was 100% with Harris winning. I believe this is Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But so either way, they shouldn't be. It should just, you could do this with 1% or 2%. You don't have to have the whole count in here. It makes you kind of go, what's going on here? Not only that, they test this stuff. They don't have to do it live on air. I mean, so it's just fishy, if nothing else. You can believe the official narrative that it was a glitch or a test, but it's got to make you at least scratch your chin a little bit and go, Oh, yeah. Now, you may not think this is election interference. Fine. You have that right to believe whatever you want. But these are things that the media won't tell you is happening. All these. Huh?
Eric, that is Lewis Hamilton right there. And he is corner cutting.
Besides the point, brother. I don't care.
That Formula One car is corner cutting.
Well, we have 3-hour shows. This is why.
That is a 2-grid penalty.
Okay, fine.
Matt, I watch another podcast that if Formula One can be interjected in the podcast, he's all over it.
Yeah.
You remind me of him.
This is why
he was so happy one time Trump talked about Formula One. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Yeah, but Eric, you got one problem.
What?
That corner cutting.
Yeah.
No.
What?
That ABC network would not coincide with ESPN.
It said ESPN on ABC. ABC.
Disney
owns.
The race is not on ABC.
I've read. It says ABC television just aired it, so maybe it's not. It says ESPN on ABC at the top right corner of the TV.
Maybe it was the highlight of the race.
You also know ABC and ESPN are both owned by Disney, right?
I know that far. I know that much.
I'm just telling you what it says.
Which is why I don't believe that post, because I don't believe anything comes from ESPN, ABC. I don't believe anything that comes from them.
I don't blame you there, but they are owned by the same company. So yeah, ESPN can be on ABC. That does happen.
Which ultimately leads to my final statement that is full of shit. Okay, proceed.
If it ends up like this at all, it's that's wild. But yeah, it's one of those that like, oops. And
another comment I want to make is, why is Lewis Hamilton on the whites?
Moving on, dude.
When he should be on the reds.
We've got a lot to get through. Okay, come on. Again, are all of these coincidences? Why is it that every glitch or error always goes in the favor of Democrats? The fact that these type of stories pop up at all definitely should make anyone with a brain question it. So come on, guys.
You got some bad DRS.
Yeah. Anyway, we also had a White House Halloween party this week that ended up being a bit odd. We've first got the first lady wearing a panda costume as the Bidens greet trick-or-treaters at the White House. There's some people say there's some symbolism when it comes to pedophilia with the panda. I don't know how true that is, but maybe a thing. It was definitely just kind of weird. But the weirder part was the fact that Joe Biden was, for some reason, munching on children. Babies, and as he sticks a whole foot of this little girl in his mouth. Now I've seen grandpa
your children again.
Now look, I've seen grandpas go up to babies and go ma, 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 or something like that to kind of play, bite their lips or something, but they don't actually put appendages in their mouth.
All
you know what I'm saying?
So hold on. If it's your kid, rock out.
Yeah, that's one thing, I guess.
Like, fam,
this is
I don't give
creepy.
a fuck who you are.
Who trick-or-treats at the White House?
My kid.
Yeah. Not to mention it was every kid that came up there.
Like,
what did I just walk into? What is going on?
Do we have security?
Like, if I take my kid to the grandparents' house and my mom was to grab my she did it with Jaden. Jaden was a little chubby. And my mom would, she would play by the kid, but That's his
Okay.
grandma. You know what I mean?
I've got so many things to
What
say.
we
I think he legitimately thought this was a chicken.
Bruh.
Chicken leg.
How are you okay with this?
You should be.
Are
But
these the
it's
same
that's just
Secret
crazy
Service-
Joe.
This man is effectively a fucking stranger to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these the same Secret Service people as the ones in Pennsylvania? I mean, let's just let trick-or-treaters walk right up to the White House.
Well, they
That's
do that
a
every
great
year.
idea.
That happens every year.
Bro, what is
just
happening
kids.
right now?
I mean, the weirdest thing that Trump ever did during the well, that's what Joe Biden said. Actually, she should be allowed to hold the child at first aid to begin with.
Oh man!
But,
Put a muzzle
but
on that first.
the sad thing about
Man,
the sad
bro,
thing
let me
about that
get
is
it.
though it's got a trap door, so it's not going to help him none. So I broke Brandon. So yeah,
Yes, you did.
Fucking dog powder.
I mean, you got to do
He's
something,
getting
man.
it in.
It keeps him from licking their bones. It might not stop Joe from licking his, but anyway.
They need to put his ass on a leash too. He's always getting lost.
But
I
Matt,
like
just
the
so you
minions.
know, every president usually hosts kids for trick or treating, so this is nothing new. The weirdest thing that
okay.
Trump ever
That-
did.
See, that's
would-
what I was asking, Eric.
But this is the weirdest thing Trump ever did, and this is not even weird. He was just having a little fun, and he put some candy on top of a minion. Which is kind of funny. Of course, it slid off, and the kid had to.
No, the little girl made out. She got two.
Yeah, it just fell right in her bag. Yeah. But I
And
mean,
them full-size candy bars.
Oh, it looked like it. I mean,
bruh.
they're probably
That's
like
the place you want to be, right there.
they're like XL. You know what I mean? They're big,
Full-size
big candy
candy. Shit.
Yeah, but that wasn't good fun.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
it. That's just them having fun. I mean, that's not a problem.
No,
That's not
it's not
creepy at
him
all.
nibbling on random babies, bro.
Yeah,
That's creepy as fuck.
that's
Wild.
creepy as hell.
It's,
But anyway,
it's just weird.
speaking of
It
Halloween,
makes you wonder, though, that if this is what he does in the view of the public, what does he do when the public's not around?
exactly.
Eric, this is not Halloween.
Well,
I know, but it just kind of like a costume here. Apparently, Democrats and
crazy
leftists were trying to pass a Photoshop off as Kamala Harris in her McDonald's uniform because obviously there's no proof that McDonald's ever hired Kamala Harris, even though Kamala just says it. We all have to take it as
That's
truth.
the
apparently.
actual picture.
But the actual picture is on the right, and it's funny. It's a fake, but they also put Kamala Harris's face on the left on a white woman, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Not only that, the thing that's missing that a lot of people don't seem to talk about with this, there's a was it a capuchin? Is that how you say it? Capuchin monkey on the actual woman on the right, on her shoulder. They had to
Where's
edit it
that
out
on
the
that's
Kamala photo.
Wild work.
Yeah. And it looks like they almost didn't get all the tail on the
No,
left side. To be
it's
honest.
like that's crazy work right there.
Wow.
I mean,
Jiminy crickets.
I mean, she looks like the Joker worked at the
But you could tell her face is a little askew. That's a weird angle.
it's very glossy.
Too shiny.
Yeah, that too.
First of all, I want to ask you a question. I've never seen a McDonald's have cabinetry like that in the background.
Well, this is probably her, the
This is
woman
the
at
girl's
home
house.
after her or before her
Oh,
shift.
okay.
It's just supposed to be the picture of her. in the
Yeah,
McDonald's
her
uniform.
face looks like it's creased down the
Pre-shift.
middle.
But again, there's no record, even though McDonald's said they didn't keep records all the way back then, but nobody can vouch for her claim that she worked at McDonald's. Nothing. They have no record of it, no proof, but yet we have to take her writ
Hey,
large.
I have a question, Eric. Were there people who believed that this photo was legit?
There were people. There were Democrats who were sharing it saying, "Suck it, MAGA." That's what they were
Okay,
saying.
I have a question for all of y'all. Y'all need to get your eyes checked. And I know I'm going blind, but you can clearly tell that her face is off,
Mm-hmm.
and it is way wider than anybody else's face, and it is exceptionally smooth. There is no like facial definition.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
That
It is
picture, you
shiny
can't tell me that picture is her.
and it's shiny all in the wrong place.
Well, it's the woman on the right, but not on the. Yeah, it's definitely not.
I
Kamala.
know you can't tell me that picture is Kamala Harris.
But there are people who were sharing it saying, "Yeah, this is proof that she worked for McDonald's." No,
they tried to shrink her neck too. It looks like a turtle.
And Obama is from Hawaii too.
That's crazy work, bro.
If she worked for McDonald's and Obama's from Hawaii,
bruh.
But anyway,
that's a whole other podcast, Matt.
in too.
Yeah,
that's crazy work.
This week, though, apparently Donald Trump and JD Vance actually went on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Awesome.
Both of them did 3 hours apiece with Joe, obviously. And Donald Trump's alone had, the last time I checked, had 41.5 million views. And of course, let's do a couple of the highlights here. And this one, Donald Trump talks about how voter ID is, not having it is weird. And Joe actually, agreed with him here. They talk about it a little bit.
That certainly is a problem. Mail-in ballots are a problem.
But every
Another
other country,
problem is
other
voter
countries,
ID.
Yeah, a voter ID. How
Voter
about
ID is the most bizarre argument that I've never seen anybody articulate in a way that's convincing.
Because
why
they
you
wanna
don't
cheat.
need voter. Well, it doesn't make sense any other way. I've tried to straw man it, or I tried to steel man it rather. I've tried to look at it from a position like, why would you not want people to have ID? And a lot of the ideas are just ridiculous. You need
Gavin
an
Newsom.
ID to get a driver's license.
Okay, but here's now the next step. Gavin Newsom, one of the worst governors in the world. And I used to get along, but I don't get along with him now because he's just too, it's just a whole con job. But Gavin Newsom, the other day signed a bill that you are not allowed to ask a person, even ask them whether or not they have a voter ID.
Now, what could be
If
a
you ask
charitable reason why anybody
because they
would
want
want
to cheat.
that? But
Because
that
they
would be
wanna
the
cheat.
only thing that makes sense.
But that's taking it to the next level.
Right.
Now, you have ID. The Democrat National Convention, when they had it the last time I saw, they had a sign like a billboard on the name of the person, where they live, how they live, who the hell their boyfriends are. Every single, it was, and a big picture. That's for they have an ID, a big ID. It was hanging like you were a prisoner. They had these massive cards, everything. And yet when it comes to the vote, in theory, the most important thing we do, okay, when you go to a grocery store, you give ID. But for a vote, it's supposed to be a sacred thing. And it should be a sacred thing.
Yeah.
No voter ID because they want to cheat.
Well, it doesn't make sense in any other way. I've tried to look at
There's
it.
no other way.
There's no argument that anybody's presented that makes any sense. Why?
You know the funny thing, Joe? The Democrats, the people, they all think you should have it. In other words, you should have it.
Yeah.
If you go to the people, Mrs. Schwartz, Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
Sure.
They say, of course, yeah. Democrats, they say yes. It's the politicians that don't want it, like Schumer and these guys, they don't want it because they want to be able to cheat. Because you know what? If they didn't have it, okay, who is going to vote for somebody that wants open borders? Who's going to vote for somebody that wants to have men playing in women's sports? I have never had one person come up to me and say, President, you got to do something to allow men to play in women's sports. Have you ever? Just like I've never been called by a pollster. I told you my little theory on pollsters. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean,
This was a
he's
solid
right.
ass interview, though.
Oh yeah, the whole thing, the whole 3 hours, it really makes Trump. Of course, we all know this, but it makes it more. It humanizes him to where he just seems like a regular dude that you don't see all the time. Definitely check it out.
Does he say anything did he say anything in that interview that would make him seem like a monster?
No, of course not.
That
Not even
make him
close.
make him seem like somebody who's going to be a dictator.
No, nothing.
No, nothing.
I had this conversation.
Absolutely
with
nothing.
somebody at work yesterday, and it was a conversation about like how he's viewed in the public now.
I don't talk about that.
As opposed to how he was before, that people just seemingly forgot. And we're talking about specifically The View. He went on that show right before he decided to run as president, and the first time, and everybody was high fives, handshakes, and hugs.
Yeah,
like the whole time.
Joe talked about it in this interview. Actually,
his political views didn't change in that conversation, and those women had nothing but good things to say about him and agreed with him on a lot of the shit that he was talking about.
Yeah.
So it's weird that out of like nowhere,
it's changed.
Everybody was just
Yeah, they just hate him because he's a Republican.
But yes, but like,
I don't think it's that, Eric. I
Well-
think that there's a lot of people that know and Miranda's right. There's a lot of people out there that think that he's just gonna send them to prison, and he's gonna.
We're gonna get a few people who are crazy about that here a little bit, because the left is losing their mind this week, which we're about to get into. But this, also, how many times do you hear a politician admit that they made a mistake? Here's Donald Trump saying that he made at least some mistakes in his first presidency, namely who he appointed in his first term.
The biggest mistake I made was I picked some people. I picked some great people, but you don't think about that. I picked some people that I shouldn't have picked. I picked a few people that I shouldn't have picked. And
neocons?
Yeah, neocons, or bad people, or disloyal people, or
people that were just
people
bad.
that were into the
You
people
got
that
bad advice.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're reading about them a little bit today. A guy like Kelly, who was a bully, but a weak
Liar too,
person.
apparently.
You know more about bullies than anybody probably around, because you deal in a certain sport where the bullies are exposed very quickly.
Yeah.
But he's bad. Bolton was an idiot, but he was great for me because I'd go in with a guy like a John Bolton. John Bolton. A friend of mine called me up. I was picking Bolton, and he's a very smart guy. His name is Phil Ruffin.
And he goes on to talk about, I won't run the whole thing, but he goes on to talk about, how this time he's going to know more people than he did the first time he was in office. And that's a good thing, because this way now he'll be able to get the right people in there and not people he has to fire all over the place because they were basically establishment members.
Yes.
That's bad.
How about not picking Mike Pence?
Well, that's definitely not going to happen for sure. Oh, but Pitts, he endorses like Kamala and all these, Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff and all these people, endorse Kamala. Well, but none of them are actually Republicans either, even though they are, but they're not.
I'm going to say something right now that I know only Miranda knows, but I know you and Eric Brandon don't know this, but I'm going to make it public anyway. If I would have known what Mike Pence did on the whole January 6th shit and all that other stuff, I would have never voted for him.
Stop.
Well, Kamala Harris, Joe Rogan wanted her to show up on his podcast as well. He wrote that, for the record, the Harris campaign has not passed on doing the podcast. They offered a date for Tuesday, but I would have had to travel to her, and they only wanted to do an hour. I strongly feel the best way to do it is in the studio in Austin, Texas. My sincere wish is to just have a nice conversation and get to know her as a human being. But here's the thing: they wanted to manipulate it to where it control the environment.
Why won't she go to Texas?
She went there. She's been traveling all over the place to go to other podcasts. Why couldn't
Well,
she go to Joe Rogan? I'll tell you why she wouldn't go to Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan, whenever she says something that's a flat out lie, like she did a verified people hoax or Trump is Hitler, he's going to flat out call her out on her bullshit, pulls the stuff up on his television screen and say, see, that's a lie.
Yeah.
And then she would have had nothing to say.
Joe Rogan got the "you can't buy me" money.
Does anyone notice that she's turning down interviews left and right?
Well, it depends on who it is.
I mean,
it depends on who it is. If it's somebody, that she
but
can.
It looks bad.
She can.
Looks bad.
Trump went on ABC.
She can use and shit, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing. She went on Charlemagne the God's podcast. Remember, Donald Trump's Joe Rogan interview alone has, last I checked, 41.5 million views.
Yes.
But Charlemagne the God with Kamala Harris only had 500,000.
Yes.
She went on Shannon Sharp's podcast. It only had 1.3 million.
Yes.
Which is a good number, don't get me wrong.
Yes, they were. But Eric, these are all left people.
I know that. That's the point. But even so, they're not getting half the views that Donald Trump.
And they're the reason why they have to have the National Guard.
Go ahead, Miranda.
They're the reasons we have to have the National Guard called out to some of these damn cities, because they're all dumb and
are gonna whine and bitch when they don't get their way.
No, absolutely.
They're big chicken shits.
And just think, we haven't got to the craziness yet. This week, the left has begun to lose their ever-loving collective minds because desperation is starting to set in. This morning, the latest job report was released showing that the private sector did not create as many jobs as projected. It was projected to create 113,000 actual jobs. The actual number was 12,000.
12,000.
So this is also before it is probably going to be revised down like it has been for the past 2 years. It'll probably end up being they lost jobs.
Yeah.
But when Donald Trump, back in 2020 during COVID, created 661,000 jobs, way more than the Biden administration just did. They made it sound like on NBC News that it was a smaller number than anticipated. It was a bad job by Donald Trump during COVID. The same media, the same NBC News today, the U.S. added just 12,000 jobs in October as a strike and hurricane hit employment. So they gave excuses for the Biden and Harris administration as to why it was a low number. This is how you rig shit. More excuses for Joe Biden. So to distract from the bad job numbers, we've got a new hoax against Donald Trump. The media says that Donald Trump called for Liz Cheney to face a firing squad execution. That is what the media is now saying that Donald Trump said. Liz Cheney herself is even pushing this lie on her X account. She wrote, "This is how I know, I'm going to get to it. This is how dictators destroy free nations," she wrote. "They threaten those who speak against them with death. We cannot entrust our country and our freedom to a petty, vindictive, cruel, unstable man who wants to be a tyrant." Here is the clip that they are taking completely out of context to validate their claims that he called for her to be executed by a firing squad.
And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Now, if you stop the clip right there where it stops in her post, it's only 21 seconds. That was her entire post. You would think he was talking about putting her in front of a firing squad and executing her. You really would. MSNBC and the media are also running with this stupid-ass narrative.
I don't think you even need to call it fired upon. He's saying quite explicitly and unambiguously that Liz Cheney should be shot, should be executed by firing squad.
4 days out from Election Day, and former President Donald Trump is escalating his violent rhetoric, suggesting one of his most prominent critics, the former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, should be fired upon.
Your reaction to what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it was completely inappropriate, dangerous, and unbecoming of a leader. Mr. Trump was literally going after someone who doesn't agree with him.
Nope.
So you shouldn't be surprised to come on TV.
But why does he say this shit?
Well, that's just a small sampling. There was more to that, but for interest of time.
Okay, well, get to that because I don't want to hear that shit.
Kamala Harris is also pushing this lie.
And then, even worse, he has increased his violent rhetoric, Donald Trump has, about political opponents, and in great detail, suggested rifles should be trained on former Representative Liz Cheney. And then...
So, again, he has to kill his political opponents. Even the headlines, Trump suggests Liz Cheney should face firing squad for her foreign policy stance. Trump says Warhawk Liz Cheney should be fired upon, blah, 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 blah. Here is the actual real video, complete without edit, in full context, showing he did not say anything of the sort.
Is it weird for you to see Liz Cheney, that'd be Dick Cheney's repulsive little daughter, running against you with Kamala Harris?
Well, I think it hurts Kamala a lot, actually. Look, she's a deranged person. But the reason she couldn't stand me is that she always wanted to go to war with people. I don't want to go to war. She wanted to stay in Syria. I took them out. She wanted to stay in Iraq. I took them out. I mean, if it were up to her, we'd be in 50 different countries. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Here's the context.
You know, they're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. But she's a stupid person. And I'd have meetings with a lot of people, and she always wanted to go to war with.
So what Donald Trump is saying here is these war hawks in Congress and the Senate, all this stuff, love to send your sons and daughters over to war. But if you were to had Liz Cheney herself go over there and have guns in her face, they wouldn't vote for it. That's what he said. He did
Eric,
not
did you-
say line her up and be executed.
Yeah. Did you hear firing squad in his statement at all?
No, but
No, I didn't
again,
either.
now I admit, if you just take the edited clip and that's all you heard, you would think that's what he's suggesting. But again, this is what they did with the Very Fine People hoax, where he literally said, I'm not talking about the white nationalists and the neo-Nazis. They should be condemned.
Yes.
They took that clip and edited it. They're doing the same crap here.
And Eric, this is why he's getting shot.
Yeah, this is why he's getting shot at.
This is why he's getting shot at right here. This shit right here is why.
Yeah, because there are stupid people in this country who are too stupid
Right.
to take a 5-second Google search and find out the full context.
It's getting late. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for having me.
All right, Matt, later.
Bye,
we're
Matt.
getting close. But yeah, this is why I'm so tired of this bullshit. I mean, there's no reason for this, period. We've even got the Arizona Attorney General apparently is trying to jail him over this, calling it a death threat.
And Bram Resnick, the political anchor and reporter from our NBC affiliate in Phoenix, KPNX, joins us. Talk about this breaking news regarding Donald Trump's comments that he made about Liz Cheney in Arizona last night. The Attorney General is responding.
That's right. I just spoke to Attorney General Chris Mays about 2 hours ago for the taping of my Sunday show. She told me she just gotten off the phone with her criminal division chief, and she was investigating whether what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney constituted a death threat under Arizona law.
Well, good luck with that. Once that goes to court, the full context will be shown. Hopefully, if it's actually a good court.
Yeah, if he's allowed to bring evidence.
But yeah, exactly. But here's the funny thing. Kamala Harris can literally go on the Ellen DeGeneres show and literally joke about Donald Trump dying, and everything's perfectly fine, though.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Oh, it's funny, ha ha when Democrats do it, huh? But yeah, this is only allowed because Barack Obama signed a bill back in 2012, basically allowing propaganda to be used on U.S. citizens by its own government, using the media to do just so. This must be overturned. If Donald Trump gets back in office, the media must begin to be held accountable. Otherwise, this is just never going to get better. So I just thought this meme was funny. Donald Trump said Liz Cheney needs to be shot. Be honest now. He said she needs to be put in front of a firing squad. No, what did he actually say? He said Liz needs to fight in the pointless war she supports.
Did you not see the video where I can't remember his name? He's one of the black senators. I forget. He was on CNN or something like that, and they did this, and he called him out and said,
Was it Byron Daniels?
Yeah, Byron Daniels. He called him out and basically made him tell the whole story of what was said.
Good, he should.
And then I saw where the one of the hosts or whatever on one of those CNN shows had said some wild shit. He wrote an article about it, and then he had to walk it all back live on TV.
Good. That's what they need to have happen. Otherwise, these people are just never going to learn it. They're just going to keep doing this. So yeah, thoughts on this as I set up the next thing real quick. Just sad.
Yeah, this is the way. At this point, we know what it is. Like that's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah. We got more leftists losing it this week. We got Debbie Dingell, representative from Michigan, Democrat, tries to tell Jake Tapper on CNN that Donald Trump is going to set up internment camps. Hold on.
American community needs to be reminded and cannot forget. He wants to ban Muslims. He wants to deport Muslims, and he wants to start internment camps. And that's what we are busy talking to every voter. He's telling you what he's going to do. Believe him.
Internment camps?
Even Jake Tapper didn't buy it.
He just talked internment camps. You know what, Jake? You may have to visit me in one. I get worried enough when he talks about what he's going to do to his political enemies. But he has talked about them in this with different groups of people.
No, he has not.
It makes me feel like everybody that's freaking out about this, there's blackmail on them. Like,
there's
why
something.
else is it so bad that Trump wants to make America something again?
I don't know. You got to get.
I think a lot of them are legit. Like it's like a game of telephone. It's one person says one thing, and then like by the time it gets back to the original person, it's not the same story that was told in the beginning. So it's like everybody freaks out, but then they make nothing into something, and then that something grows and grows and grows to where you start adding shit into it, and then people are like, "Oh, that's new."
Wait a second. I got a Tim Pool video in a minute. It's going to explain exactly what Democrats do to make themselves paranoid. We'll get to that in a second. But before that, top Kamala Harris surrogate, billionaire and owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, who could be Rachel Maddow, I can't quite tell. He thinks that women who vote for Donald Trump are weak and unintelligent.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple.
Well, that comment did not go without some pushback from some strong and intelligent women who back Donald Trump.
Today, Mark Cuban said there are no strong or intelligent women around President Trump.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever.
Well, the women at Trump campaign headquarters here have a few words for Mr. Cuban and Kamala Harris.
Mark Cuban thinks that women who support President Trump are weak and dumb. I'm here to tell you that I'm a working mom. I work for President Trump, and I have already voted for him.
The world has found out that Kamala's campaign is not all about women empowerment, like she says. Do I look weak to you?
Kamala Harris sent Mark Cuban out to mansplain to half the country. Sorry, Kamala, I'm proudly supporting President Trump.
Hey, Mark, you remember me? Last week you asked me if I wanted to take a picture with you. Not only are you arrogant, but you're misogynistic too.
Mark, I have one question for you. Can you define what a woman is?
Mark Cuban doesn't know a thing about strong women. I could beat you in a fight.
Biden thinks I'm garbage. Biden thinks I'm weak and dumb. Well, guess what? I'm proudly supporting President Trump.
Mark Cuban thinks he gets to decide who's strong and intelligent. Last I checked, women didn't need permission to think for themselves.
Orgullosísima de apoyar al presidente Donald Trump y de poder tener el honor de trabajar para él.
We are strong, we are intelligent, and we are voting for President Trump.
Hi, Mark Cuban. My name's Lynn Patton, and I am a strong, intelligent woman who supports Donald J. Trump.
Mark Cuban called us weak and dumb, but we are smart, intelligent women who are voting for Trump.
Hey, Kamala Harris and Mark Cuban, we have a question for you. Do we look weak and dumb to you?
So, Miranda, being a strong, intelligent woman, what did you think about this?
Well, have you heard the Alina Halba video to Mark? I'm gonna send it real quick because she is on fire. I love this woman.
Okay, well, let's just do that. It has been reported now that the Kamala Harris campaign team has told Mark Cuban to stop doing interviews discussing her campaign due to the backlash she's causing. So Kamala Harris just told him to shut his pie hole. So I don't know about you. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Assuming that's true, obviously, that's just a report, but that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull up that video right quick of Miranda sitting here. It'll load. Okay. All right.
I'm sure that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, that one reporter lady. I don't know her name, but she recently did an interview with Bill Maher and kind of.
Megyn Kelly. We're going to talk about her in a second too. Oh, so you done? Okay. But yeah, the clip you're talking about, I'm going to pull up. Yeah, let's listen to this that Miranda sent us.
I just got off a plane, so pardon my delay in responding to Mark Cuban's disgusting misogynistic remarks. Some reservos. Michael Cohen on 3 levels, just confirmed and denied by the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm licensed in 4 states. I graduated college in 3 years. Savage v. Trump. By the way, I can keep going, but those are the cases I win.
Nice.
And your left-wing media and your rhetoric, and you're putting women down. See, President Trump doesn't do that. He surrounds himself with strong women like me. So, Mark Cuban, you can go to hell. I'm voting for Trump because I want my daughter to never, ever be around people that speak like you do.
Get it, girl.
Damn.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Kamala Harris also went on the Shay Shay podcast, or what do you call it? My name's Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay.
Yeah, and she says that Donald Trump will make it to where you have to work overtime without pay, which is stupid.
But what he would do that is about eliminating or reducing the ability of corporations to be required to pay overtime pay.
So you could work and the corporations wouldn't have to pay you for
overtime.
Who work for free?
That's right. And overtime means you are actually working a longer day, which means you are more tired.
Right.
Which means it requires more exertion. That's why we have overtime pay. So you don't take advantage of workers. But
so he literally said he was going to put no tax on overtime pay. And now she's claiming he's going to just make you work overtime without pay at all.
Okay, but if we're going to hold these news people accountable, what the fuck is up with Shannon?
Yeah.
Letting her just say that stuff.
Yeah.
Got caught on camera and now he's just stupid. Or I don't know what. I mean, why didn't he push back on that at all?
News flash, Camilla. I have done more overtime in the 4 years of your vice presidentship than I did when Trump was in office.
Yeah.
Because corporations had more money to give their employees more money and wages under Donald Trump. What the left doesn't like to tell you, but that's true. And any hardworking American probably knows that. Just look at your check. But anyway, we also got a TikTok video full of lies of Democrats just being absolutely paranoid about what Donald Trump could do in his next presidency. And we've got a video of Tim Pool after this breaking each one of these down one by one about how ridiculous and stupid they are.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I just don't know if I'll be able to own a credit card without my husband's permission in 7 days.
Oh, did I get too political? My bad. I just don't know if I want to get rid of overtime in 7 days.
Oh, I've gotten too political? My bad. I just want to make sure I have access to birth control in 7 days.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I guess I don't know if I'm going to be a U.S. citizen in 7 days.
What? Oh, I got too political? My bad. I'm just worried I won't be able to love who I love in 7 days.
Oh, did I get political? My bad. I just don't want my mother to be denied her health care because she has a pre-existing condition.
Oh, I'm being too political? My bad. I'm just fighting for the future of my daughter.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. It's just that I don't know if my family in Western North Carolina will be warned of the hurricane coming in 7 days when the National Weather Service is gone.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I don't want them to start rounding up immigrants to deport in 7 days.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. The only reason I have a daughter is because of IVF.
Oh, I got too political? I just don't really want JD Vance tracking my periods in 7 days.
So I got too political? My bad. I don't want Trump to take over the Board of Education, put in his lackeys, his loyalists, and have y'all continue to think that Puerto Rico is not a part of America. Open the schools.
Who thinks that? But anyway.
What?
Yeah, this is insanity. These people believe either they believe this or they're influencers getting paid to lie to you. Here's Tim Pool reacting to this, and this is absolutely hilarious because Tim Pool just breaks down each one of these and talks about how it's absolutely ridiculous.
And I want to show you the sheer desperation. Let's start. And I'm going to pause after every statement to debunk the lies. It's not just the fear of violence. Right now, they are lying at the top of, screaming lies at the top of their lungs, desperate to win. Well, I hope it doesn't work, but let's play.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. I just don't know if I'll be able to own a credit card without my husband's permission in 7 days.
In what reality? This is the video. They go, oh, I'm too political. Insert insane, unhinged, paranoid delusion. In what reality has anyone proposed taking away women's rights to own credit cards? Ridiculous. This is just so far beyond paranoid delusion. It needs not to be addressed because you know it's not reality.
Oh, did I get too political? My bad. I just don't know if I want to get rid of overtime in 7 days.
Get rid of overtime? Donald Trump said he wants to end taxing overtime.
Not only that, we just heard a video of Kamala Harris say that he's going to make you work overtime and not get paid. Now, this person thinks that he's just going to get rid of overtime altogether. Which isn't, lefties.
In what reality? Democrats made it up. It's fake. Donald Trump has said no taxes on overtime. But you know what? We're playing fact check. Let's pull it up. No taxes, overtime. Here we go from the Tax Foundation. Let's slide this one over. Trump's proposed overtime tax exemption would distort work decisions. Look at this. This is from the Tax Foundation. On Thursday, former President Trump proposed a blanket exemption for income tax for income earned from overtime work. Exempting overtime pay from tax would add to Trump's growing list of newly proposed tax cuts. So this is the Tax Foundation being critical of it. Why is this guy lying and saying Trump wants to get rid of overtime? Yeah, because they're desperate.
Oh, I've gotten too political? My bad. I just want to make sure I have access to birth control in 7 days.
Why would Republicans get rid of birth control? Are you talking about abortion as birth control? Well, Trump put it to the states. There's a fair argument on the dispute over abortion, but no one's proposing a ban on birth control.
Oh, I got too political. My bad. I guess I don't know if I'm going to be a U.S. citizen in 7 days.
Why would you not be a U.S. citizen? These people are beyond unhinged. I'm sorry. Paranoid, delusional state. I have been stating this for years now. Democrats exist in a paranoid, delusional state that does not reflect reality.
He's right.
No one is going to strip U.S. citizenship from U.S. citizens.
And they say we're the conspiracy theorists.
My bad. I'm just worried I won't be able to love who I love in 7 days.
Where has anyone made a claim about not being able to love people? Well, seriously, what's the argument?
Trump's
Even
for gay
if
marriage.
Republicans were trying to get rid of like Obergefell v. Hodges or whatever. I think that's the gay marriage one. You can still love whoever you want. But this is not happening. The only way that happens is if Democrats push this to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court overturns gay marriage, which I'm not convinced would happen. To be fair, that's the closest you may get if I'm making the argument for you. Donald Trump had a gay man in his cabinet. And Vivek Ramaswamy said at Madison Square Garden, the Republican Party supports gay marriage. Thank you and have a nice day. It's been that way for a long time. Here's more.
Did I get political? My bad. I just don't want my mother to be denied her health care because she has a pre-existing condition.
Oh, where's that one? Where is that one? Has Donald Trump said that he's going to remove protections? Nope, never happened. They make this stuff up.
Sorry about that.
My bad. I'm just fighting for the future of my daughter.
What? So am I. Thank you and have a nice day. I have no idea what that argument even is. Here's a good one.
I got too political. My bad. It's just that I don't know if my family in Western North Carolina will be warned of the hurricane coming in 7 days when the National Weather Service is gone.
Where's it going?
Like there's going to be no weather. No one's going to know what's going on. What is this argument? No, they're not going to tell me about a hurricane that's coming. Why would you not? There's numerous agencies tracking hurricanes. You don't need one government organization to do that. And, maybe Trump gets rid of it to a certain degree, but I don't even know that the National Weather Service is on the chopping block. To be fair, most government bureaucracy should probably go, but I'm pretty sure that's last on the list. But okay, I'll give you a little bit of that one.
Oh, I got too political. Right. My bad. I don't want them to start rounding up immigrants to deport in 7 days.
Do you mean illegal
illegals?
Immigrants? Well, I got bad news for you. I got the bad news. Is this it right here?
Yeah, listen to this, leftist.
Here's Kamala Harris.
And when I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give Border Patrol the support they so desperately need.
No. What, ma'am? With your Harris Walt sticker button. Did you not hear that Kamala Harris also is planning to deport everybody? But that's too bad.
She sounds like
we got
Trump.
more.
Oh, I got too political? My bad. The only reason I have a daughter is because of IVF.
Who wants to get rid of IVF? Trump called himself the king of IVF.
Yeah.
They're making this stuff up. Trump, okay, here we go. Trump pro IVF.
It takes 5 seconds.
This is from months ago. Can these people bother to tell the truth one time? Trump says he wants to make IVF treatments paid for by the government or insurance companies if elected. So Trump is trying to expand access to IVF, and you're voting against him?
Oh, I got too political. I just don't really want JD Vance tracking my periods in 7 days.
Come on. Does that one even need to be addressed? Who's doing that?
Yeah, what is that about?
Thing anyone ever said.
I got too political. My bad. I don't want Trump to take over the Board of Education, put in his lackeys, his loyalists, and have y'all continue to think that Puerto Rico is not a part of America.
Well, I don't know who thinks Puerto Rico is not part of America. Probably a lot of Democrats do too. But I'd also like to point out, I've got good news for you. Trump is not going to take over the Department of Education with his lackeys. He's going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
If your argument is that you don't want it to go, I'll accept that one. That's a legitimate argument.
But that's pretty much it. I mean, you see these delusional, they call us conspiracy theorists, as Miranda said.
That's wild.
All this stuff is stuff Democrats made up. And if you are a Democrat and believe Trump will do any of this, get a brain scan. I mean, seriously. You're living in a permanent state of paranoia, and you've been lied to by the media and the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration. End of story. None of these things are going to happen. The one that's even close to happening is immigrants getting deported, and that's only the illegal ones. That's it. So more leftists losing it this week because of, again, Bill Maher thinks that Donald Trump may be Hitler too. Megyn Kelly schools him on Bill Maher's own show and basically debunks that.
These are the dictator countries. There's a very World War II feeling here when the dictator countries are getting together. I mean, in World War II, what did Hitler and the Japanese have in common? Nothing, except they saw the world one way, fascism. They all have to do it in their different way. Iran is a fascist country in their own way. So is China, so is Russia, Saudi Arabia, you could say also. Somehow, the world seems to be dividing between the good guy countries, the democratic countries, and these autocracies. And if your guy gets in, we're going to be on the wrong side of this one.
Okay. If my guy gets in, I think we'll go back to the time that we had when he was president, which is the only time we didn't start a war and get involved in a war. Did Putin?
That's not true.
Did Putin?
Jimmy Carter never fired a shot.
Putin did not invade Ukraine until Biden took over. We had the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, which projected weakness through the world. People understood that we were enfeebled, and that is what was provocative. Weakness is provocative. I feel like Trump destabilized these people. They didn't know what to expect of him. Next thing you know, he's bombing Soleimani. Trump did strategic strikes that had people on their heels. They didn't know what he might do to them. And we did not have Putin invade
It's what he might
Ukraine.
do to us that I'm a little more worried.
Again, this is a Democrat, making himself paranoid based on stuff that he believes. Got nothing, no basis in truth.
I feel like
We've had 4 years of Trump. We've had 4 years of Trump.
Yeah.
Trump did not go after
So
his
what?
political enemies with the Department of Justice.
Right.
That was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Well, we had Hitler in the 30s and things were okay. And then we had
Things were okay with Hitler in the 30s? Okay.
Hitler in the 40s and they got way worse. Just because we had
He
him.
hit his Hitlerism the first 4 years, and it's going to come out in full force.
He tried to do things like that. He tried to do dictatorial
Biden
fascist things,
actually did.
and he was stopped.
Joe Biden has flouted the law when it comes to these student loan giveaway programs. He's flouted the law. Supreme Court opinions that told him he didn't have the right to do it, and he openly said, "I will get around the Supreme Court." He did it with respect to rent abatement programs, the same exact thing. And then he and Kamala Harris unleashed this Department of Justice against their political enemy, Donald Trump, their number one chief rival for the presidency.
Okay. Well, we'll
Is it
see.
funny? Because they did it.
We'll see.
You want to talk fascism? That's fascist.
I think history is not going to be kind.
And that's Bill Maher's audience being uninformed with the laughter there for sure. Go ahead.
I just like how she was giving facts, and then Bill Maher was just throwing out the buzzwords that we've been hearing.
Oh yeah, that's leftist, rhetoric 101. Just repeat the talking points. Here's Megyn Kelly once again schooling him on election denying, which at the end there, I believe Bill even you could tell that he has no argument. So
Well, don't think there won't be denialism if Kamala Harris loses too.
It won't be the same.
Okay, but there's going to be. I mean, they're already laying the foundation for lawfare. We're going to be stuck in this election one way or the other, no matter who wins, for weeks.
Well, there's no evidence of that. Democrats have never done that. They've conceded.
We already had this fight on my show. Hillary Clinton is the original election denier.
She's not an
Stacey
election
Abrams.
denier.
Yes, she is.
It's different. Come on, man. It's different between grumbling. Yes, they grumble and they shouldn't, and maybe it goes over the. It's different between grumbling about something
now
and
it's
actually
grumbling.
trying to overturn it like he did. I mean, you know this. Why do we have to go through this?
That's fine. You're allowed to file legal challenges in response to an election, which is what Trump did, and he lost, and he did wind up leaving office. I'm not going to defend his behavior on January 6th. I never have, and I'm not going to start tonight. But if you don't think there's going to be denialism on the Dem side, you haven't been paying attention to what's been happening on that side for these.
And just because it's worth watching again, here's her schooling him the first time.
Hillary Clinton, of course, is the original election denier. I'm sure you voted for her in 2016.
Well, she's not an election denier.
She absolutely was the OG election denier.
I love this.
First of all, she came out before the sun had risen to concede the election to Trump.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
So, I mean, come on, guys. It's just, you guys have got to stop. I mean, Bill Maher is one of those guys who literally, only, knows half of what he thinks he knows. That's the truth of it here. I mean, he's just a political commentator who doesn't know what he thinks he does. Also, Whoopi Goldberg had a meltdown this week saying that Donald Trump was going to break up interracial marriages.
Yeah, I told Brandon we were done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Miranda's got to find a white guy, I guess. So here's her going off on The View.
All of you. Talking about you, it's us. He's not going to, say, oh, you're with a white guy. I'm going to keep you from being deported. No, he's going to deport you and put the white guy with someone else. The man is out there.
He's also,
I mean, so just because you're in an interracial marriage, he's so racist now, I guess he's just going to deport you because you're not white. I mean, where do these people come up with this nonsense? By the way, Donald Trump's wife is a legal immigrant. And JD Vance, his running mate, is in an interracial marriage too. You guys realize how stupid you sound when you don't look this stuff up? I mean, seriously. I don't know why it's showing a football thing here, but it must have reset. But I guess I'll skip the next point. What was the next point here? Dems tried to say, it was Democrats were trying to say that Donald Trump will take women's rights away. Hold on. I gotta find this one because if it's too important not to do.
That sports clip kind of brought a thought to my mind. So in their world, Donald Trump is going to deport everybody who isn't white. Well, our football teams are going to be crippled. We might have to reduce our teams down to maybe 3.
Yeah, especially in the NFL. I mean, let's be fair. But yeah. Here's the video of the Democrats trying to say that Donald Trump will take women's rights away, whether the women like it or not. But as always, he's taken out of context. The top part of the video is what Kamala HQ on X tried to say that he said, and the bottom is obviously in context.
Appropriate for you to say. I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. 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 I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions all over the world, from Venezuela to the Congo, including savage criminals who assault, rape, and murder our women and girls. Anyone who would let monsters kidnap and kill our children does not belong anywhere near the Oval Office. And my people told me about 4 weeks ago, I was saying, no, I want to protect the people. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said, we think it's very inappropriate for you to say. So why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said. They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money.
I don't know why they'd say that.
Yeah.
Why is it
Said,
inappropriate?
well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
So just like the Liz Cheney thing, he's not even talking about what the left says he's talking about. Completely something different. He wants to protect women who are getting raped and murdered by illegals. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. This is why the Kamala Harris campaign may be trying to place community notes on stories that hurt her on X, because it makes the Kamala HQ account look big, flat out. A little bit more to go here. To end the show, the largest story of the week obviously stemmed from the huge Trump rally that took place in Madison Square Garden this last Sunday that we talked about. It was 20,000 people inside, max capacity, and thousands of people outside. It was a huge success. Despite numerous Democrat events in Madison Square Garden, the media is trying to still paint this as a Nazi rally, despite the fact that Bill Clinton held apparently a Nazi rally at the Madison Square Garden in 1992. We also had John F. Kennedy Jr. holding, I believe, a birthday party and stuff there as well. And of course, we got Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale as well in Madison Square Garden. So apparently all these were Nazi rallies too, if you ask the Democrats by their own standards. By the way, this was the worst Nazi rally ever. There's all sorts of Israel flags and different ethnicities and races being represented in this crowd. Not to mention the speakers alone. Never seen a Nazi rally with speakers who were Jews, blacks, and Hindus all speaking at a Nazi rally. So, okay, keep running with that narrative. You look like a bunch of morons. And of course, MSNBC, very, this was vile. They tried to, again, run this whole video about how the Trump rally is a Nazi rally. Listen to this flat out BS.
But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling Because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed the garden for a so-called pro-America rally. A rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners. When a Jewish protester rushed the stage, the Associated Press reported, quote, instantly, a dozen or more stormtroopers set upon him, knocking him down and beating him as he held his head in his arms. Most of his clothing was torn from his body. Later, he was booked for disorderly conduct. Is once again turning Madison Square Garden into a staging ground for extremism.
This is vile. It's evil. And these people should lose their jobs. Every single one.
Fucked up you did that.
Here's the older millennial, one of our favorites here on the channel, responding to this BS.
I've never before thought it was necessary to ban a media organization, but MSNBC running with a chyron like this should disqualify them from being on network television. Because this is just pure propaganda and hate. This isn't implying that Trump's a Nazi. This is straight up fucking accusing him of being one.
Yep.
MSNBC said Trump's MSG rally comes 85 years after pro-Nazi rally at famed arena. And that's so fucking wrong on so many levels. Like, first of all, this isn't even the same Madison Square Garden. There have been 4 Madison Square Gardens at 3 different locations. This is not the same Madison Square Garden, and it's not even the same fucking location. So that's first. And secondly, you want to know who's had political rallies at Madison Square Garden between that Nazi rally and today? Franklin D. Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and now Donald Trump. And fuck, even the Democrat National Convention back in 1992 was at Madison Square Garden. Where was the fucking chyron about that? And they could have very easily said that Democrats decided to have their national convention at Madison Square Garden only 53 years after the pro-Nazi rally at famed arena. But no, that wasn't what they said. No, it was just all fucking good that it was at Madison Square Garden. It was all good that all of the Democrats were crowded into there. Trump and his supporters go there. Let's talk about Nazis. Like I said, I've never called for a mainstream media outlet to be banned. Yeah, this is just fucking unacceptable. Like, this is propaganda. This is hate. And yeah, shit like this is why we have violence. Shit like this is why we've had at least 2 attempts on Donald Trump's life. And MSNBC is to blame. So go fuck yourself, MSNBC.
Couldn't have said that better myself for sure. All right. So I know Aaron didn't know about this story. We were talking about the garbage truck. So let's get into that. That's the biggest part of this, and we're done. So apparently at this Madison Square Garden rally, insult comic Tony Hinchcliffe, who's known for these sort of things. He did like Tom Brady roast, where obviously at those roasts on Comedy Central and stuff, they obviously insult the person that they're, in honor of. So at this rally, he does a poor joke. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't great.
Wasn't good.
It wasn't good. Not only that, but keep in mind here, when he says this, the Trump rally crowd gasps and doesn't really laugh at it. So even they agreed this was a bad joke. So let's listen to it.
A lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem.
Oh, yeah. That was basically it. He just said that there's a floating island of trash. He said it's known as Puerto Rico. So, I want to point out something, though. I said this on Facebook after it happened. The sitting president of the United States as I'm going to show you in just a second, called 75 million Americans garbage. We need to make an important distinction here. Tony Hinchcliffe, an insult comic, called Puerto Rico garbage and a joke that was in poor taste. Hinchcliffe, not Donald Trump, said it.
Yeah.
Comedian, not Donald Trump, said it. And Trump supporters did laugh and even gasped at this. Biden, on the other hand, seriously calls Trump supporters garbage, and it's not a joke when he says it. Do you see the difference? The development comes after days of the media telling Americans that the word garbage that Tony Hinchcliffe said is X-rated, hateful, and abhorrent. Joe Biden, the decrepit old man who showered with his daughter, who can't control his cracked out son, and who tanked the country's economy and border security, is calling Trump supporters garbage, though? I mean, come on. This is hypocrisy on the highest level here. So like I said, CNN just went absolutely ballistic with this, calling the Trump rally was talking about racist and vulgar attacks when it was
They
a
called him a
joke.
loyalist. Like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
$100, Trump didn't even know that dude was going to be up there.
No, and he probably doesn't even know who he is. And he's even said as much. There's somebody his campaign hired to do it, to tell some jokes, get the crowd going, and he told a bad joke. Now, because he's at Trump's rally, the campaign is responsible for that. They should have done better with this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
But the
wild.
media there was even certain people in the media who were running and saying Donald Trump himself said that Puerto Rico was a garbage island. He didn't say it, but that was what they're running as truth. So again, and not only that, this is a picture of Puerto Rico.
Damn.
And
they have a well-known problem with trash.
There was supposed to be money sent to Puerto Rico by the Democrats years ago. Where did the money go? Just like Haiti. Where did the money go for Haiti?
Probably
If Puerto Rico is garbage, it's their fault. It's the same reason San Francisco looks like this.
Yeah.
Because they run it into the fucking ground.
I don't know how anybody in Hawaii can vote for Democrat after Maui.
Me either.
I have no idea how that state even goes. Probably because of cheating. I mean, I'm not sure if they were on the list of no voter ID, but probably.
Real quick though, do we really have an island of trash floating?
I mean, you're looking at it.
I mean, yeah, this is one image.
No, but like, it's an island just of trash. Like, it's not even a real island. It's just.
I'm sure it's not all trash. It's got a trash problem though, and it's widely known. It's got a trash problem. So if nothing else, Tony Hinchcliffe just told the truth.
That's wild.
Was it a poor taste? It wasn't great, no. And of course, the media went completely nuts about, how, it was a horrible, X-rated joke.
Calling Puerto Ricans trash. Calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
X-rated. X-rated.
So-called jokes. A comedian who.
So what? Did Tony Hinchcliffe drop his pants after he said it?
Oh,
Makes
my
it X-rated.
God.
I don't know about you, but I've heard worse, more profane jokes on the school bus in elementary school.
First of all, he didn't call Puerto Ricans garbage. That's crazy. He referred to their home as garbage.
This is just the Democrats' pearl clutching.
You know how many times I call people garbage at work, like on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Half the conversations
I don't know how many
I
times
end
you
up calling you trash, dude.
You trash, right? No, I know you're kidding, but at the same time, it's like, or is he? I don't know. But anyway,
Apparently, according to this, I'm not. According to this, I fucking want you to die. Apparently.
Yeah. Not only that, when a Democrat tells a joke that insults a whole race, it's perfectly fine.
Donald Trump said he was going to build a wall, and George Lopez said, "You better build it in one day because if you leave that material out there overnight."
Now you could argue, okay, he's of the same race, he's insulting. Fine. But he still insulted the entire race, said they're thieves.
Yeah, pretty much called them all criminals.
But that's perfectly okay because it's at a Tim Walz rally. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Not only that, in Arizona, right next to the border.
Hey, dead ass, I didn't know that was George Lopez. It looks
I know. I don't know what happened. But
It's
yeah.
like, what
I
the
thought that
fuck?
was Reverend Sharpton for a
Bruh.
second.
Hey, here's the
That
thing.
he was
So did
doing-
I for like 30 seconds. I go, is that? No.
Yeah, he was doing a George Lopez impression.
Crazy.
Not to mention another joke that Democrats seem to be okay with is Jimmy Kimmel. Apparently, Jimmy Kimmel told a joke about, supposedly a joke, telling Trump supporters to vote very late so they don't get a vote at all. And apparently the Biden administration sent a guy named Douglas Mackey to prison for making this exact same joke. I'm dead serious when I say if Trump wins, he should have Jimmy Kimmel arrested and jailed. Force these scumbags to live by their own rules. Here's the joke that Jimmy Kimmel told.
Give him a call. Wrestle that mop bucket out of his hands. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we have an election coming up on. I feel pretty relaxed about it. I've really been enjoying the week. It's in times like these, it's important to remember that cannabis is legal in our state. But you have to vote. If you can vote early, vote early. If you can't vote early, vote on time. If you want to vote for Trump, vote late, vote very late. Do your voting on Thursday or maybe Friday. This will be my third time voting against Donald.
So yeah, he told Trump supporters to go vote late. That's the same sort of thing that landed Douglas Mackey in jail because the Obama DOJ put him there. were saying the exact same thing about Democrats back in 2016, I believe. So, yeah, hypocrisy much, but Jimmy Kimmel won't get in trouble for this at all because of who he supports. Well, this all led to Joe Biden, I guess, was talking about the Puerto Rico joke that Tony Hinchcliffe gave. Not Trump, by the way. Tony Hinchcliffe. We'll say it again. And Joe Biden had to open his big dumb mouth and basically called every Trump supporter garbage.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latino is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
He said his supporters.
That's it. His exact words.
There was no taking out of context here, no misspeaking, no stuttering, as they tried to say he was doing.
No, he was very clear. He was very clear.
Yeah, and this should not be, surprising because he's already called half of Americans domestic terrorist extremists during his infamous Hitlerian red speech he gave not long after he was elected.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. MAGA Republicans.
So, yeah. So, I mean, this shouldn't be surprising. He doesn't give a flip about you. But the Biden administration, on behalf of the Kamala Harris campaign especially, had to go into damage control. And Joe Biden put out this tweet, which I'm sure he didn't even tweet. He said, earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporter at the Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. First of all, Hinchcliffe didn't refer to the Puerto Rican people. He called the island a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
He didn't call the people a piece of garbage, number one. All right. I mean, seriously here, you guys have got to stop with this. Not only that, the White House put out a transcript supposedly of the statement that he said there in that video. And if you look at the very bottom of the screen where he said his supporters, they added an apostrophe because apparently you can hear apostrophes now. And that's what he meant to say. It has now come out. The Associated Press has actually done their research into this. And apparently the White House has altered the record of Biden's garbage remarks despite concerns from a stenographer, as well as they conferred with the president in direct violation of the Presidential Records Act to change a transcript. So this is breaking the law.
They want to rewrite history. It doesn't surprise me.
Because he got caught with his big fat mouth open, and now they want to go, cover for him. It's absolutely absurd. And of course, Whoopi Goldberg is not one to, be a hypocrite or anything. Here's her slamming the joke about Tony Hinchcliffe said, and then defending Joe Biden.
A spokesperson said the joke was in poor taste and did not reflect the campaign's or whose views.
Trump, because she doesn't ever say his name.
This should not come as a surprise to anyone. Right. This is not new. It's just really clear and it's upfront, and now you see it. And all those people of color who were sitting in that audience, now you know. Yep. Now you know how he thinks about you. And when his group says, "Oh no, that doesn't reflect," it does reflect.
So does this reflect on all Democrats?
The current president, said something, and then everybody lost their minds. Take a look.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Now, he was quick to clarify
Don't
that
clap
he
at
was
that, you
really
idiot.
referring to the hateful rhetoric as garbage. So I don't understand why you clutching your pearls, because you're trying to make something out of a tongue slip. Yeah.
So the same way you made something out of the whole Hinchcliffe remark, which I would
Talk
argue
about projection.
I would argue that the Biden remark is far worse.
Yeah.
Far, far worse. He's not even joking. That was a serious remark. Hinchcliffe was making a joke.
Did he say his hometown of Puerto Rico? Did he say?
I think he was trying to say Puerto Ricans in his hometown, but it came out as word salad. On par with Joe Biden for sure. Well, this all led up to Donald Trump going to Green Bay, Wisconsin for a rally. And apparently he arrived on a jet, and then he promptly got into a garbage truck that had a huge Trump sign on the side of it, American flag and everything. And he even had the safety vest that we saw in the clip from earlier. He even did a rally in this vest for sure. He didn't even take it off. So yeah, here is a.
Did you see why?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll play the video of it. Here is a quick video of Trump, talking to the crowd when he was in the truck.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
So it's in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. So this is brilliant. You take what was said and you run with it and you make it work.
Hey, that's some wrestler shit right there.
Yeah, you just take what the audience gives you, so to speak. Yeah. Is what I'm saying. So again, he had nothing to do with the remark, other than the campaign made a mistake and put the guy on, and now he's taking it and using it to his advantage here.
This picture is wild.
This quick little story of Donald Trump at this rally, telling the story of how the garbage truck and how it all came to be. My favorite part, just to let you know, is when he's talking about what it's going to take for him to get up inside the truck. So listen to that.
So this sound, is when he called us all garbage. How stupid! What a stupid word. That blows deplorable away, don't you think?
That was Hillary. For those who don't know.
Of course, I thought irredeemable when she said deplorable or irredeemable. I thought irredeemable was actually worse, but deplorable seemed to catch up. But this garbage stuff blows it away. So I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. Have a wonderful suit on. And one of my people came in and said, "Sir, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now." Out there.
Yeah, wonder why, Joe.
The hottest thing out there. Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck?
Give that man a raise, or woman.
Now, we're about, 30 minutes from landing. We had to do this pretty quick. I said, it's sort of cool, though, isn't it? Because, and I said, I think that's okay. But, I don't feel comfortable wearing a suit. And they pulled up this garbage truck. I don't know how the hell they did it so fast. I have very capable people. Did you see it? I think they showed it. Yeah. And then they said, "Sir, we have a vest." I said, "Well, should I leave my suit on and put it over the vest?" But that doesn't look very good, right? That doesn't look good. So I said, "All right, look, let me take it off." And then I actually said, I climbed into the truck, but so I said, "How the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one." This was a beauty. I said, "You didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big?" They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know that? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, "Man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all watching. Look at all the fake news. They were most of them." No, most of them. Many of them were there, and I'm saying, "Oh boy, one little mistake with these guys, and your political career is over. You can't even."
Yeah.
So I said, "Man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing." These stupid people, they'll say, "He's cognitively and physically impaired." And I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So look,
you know what he's talking about?
Like up here. I'm saying, shit.
That part there. That part there's my favorite.
So look, the first stair is like up here.
Yeah.
I'm saying, shit.
That look on his face when he goes, "Shit." It's hilarious to me.
Shit got real to him real quick.
He's like, yeah, he made it up there. He had a little trouble. He trying to step away from the door handle. I'm surprised he didn't rip on him on that part, but at the same time, I mean, come on, this is just fun, dude. I mean, he's having a blast with this. I mean, times are tough.
He talks about wearing the vest. The reason why he kept the vest on is because somebody
he
said it made him look thin, and he was like, "Well,
I might have cut it off too soon."
That's it.
Well, that's because I'm going to wear it. He told me. Yeah, because it made it look thinner. So yeah. So apparently the economy's so bad, everybody needs 2 jobs these days. And so I mean, it just has to happen. And of course, because of all this, I don't know about you guys. This is going to be me in line to vote tomorrow morning with all the boys going to vote for Hitler. I'm going to, put on my best garbage trash can or trash bag. I'm going to go do all that. I'm going to race to the polls. And as we're coming to a close here, as the election season winds to a close, you got to admit this has been an iconic campaign, regardless of how you fall. One that will never happen again. I mean, these are some iconic images, no doubt about it. Some of them good, some of them not so good. Not for, this is just, these are all going to hopefully benefit Trump in the end. But I'll leave you with this decision. You decide. This is what it's going to be like. Obviously, hopefully it's time to take out the trash, number 1. And number 2, when you go into the voting booth, I want you guys to think about this when you make your decision.
We will end all taxes on overtime. No tax on tips. And we'll cut your energy prices in half. We're going to drill a baby drill.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Oh, she's a psycho too.
Wages will soar, the cost of living will fall, and I will deliver the greatest economy in the history of the world.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? Like everybody needs to be woke. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been,
Like
on November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. And we will always put America first.
I grew up a middle class kid.
I can't.
The laugh costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%.
Because of you.
I am with you. I will fight for you. And I will win for you.
I'd play the rest of that, but that's the song that's going to get copyright. So, but yeah, I mean,
go
vote. No matter who you're going to vote for. Yes, even if you're going to vote for Kamala Harris, it is your constitutional right to do so. Please do that. No matter what. Obviously, I think voting Trump is the right way to go. I think everybody on this podcast is going to encourage you to vote for Donald Trump.
Hi. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about Naya. Sorry.
I got you. It's all good. But either way, I have to believe that God has a divine plan for this nation, regardless of which way it goes. All I can say to that is make good decisions, America. That's all I can say. And with that, I am done with the podcast. So what are your guys' thoughts? I know you guys early voted yesterday. Got that taken care of. So good on you.
I haven't voted just yet.
Okay.
I'm doing that tomorrow.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow too. So going to get it out the way, get it taken care of. And I hope to the good Lord above that Donald Trump is our next president once again. But if he's not, like I said, I have to trust that there's a good plan involved no matter what. But I just have, like I said, I have a hard time believing that, he was spared from that bullet just, from by hook or by crook. The Democrats and the leftists are going to cheat as much as they can, as we demonstrated for you earlier in this show. So I don't know. I just hope for God it works out for the best, no matter what. So, and in the end, I know who wins. So that's all you can do. So, yeah. So with that being said, I think we'll end the show tonight. But regardless, either you early vote this weekend or you vote on Tuesday on Election Day, vote. Make your voices heard. We need to make this too big to rig so that we can actually defeat all of this stuff, no doubt about it. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you all, and make good decisions. Please make good decisions. That's all I can say. All right, guys. Until next Friday night, hopefully we'll have a winner by then. We can talk about that. If not, we'll discuss why. So hopefully we'll be back next week and we'll discuss it then. So is that going to be okay since you guys got this get together on Saturday? Friday night still good?
Yeah, we should be good.
Okay, so we'll see you guys next Friday night. So take care. God bless. Follow us on YouTube, Rumble, comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and see you guys next week.
God bless.
See you.
Later.
Good night.
Yeah.